Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Rejoice! T for Tejas. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, hopefully y'all could understand what is in the title there. Nowadays it got to be a little bit more low key. You know what I'm saying? We've invited Mr. Paul Morady to the party. So there's an interesting thing, little story of a lovely lady. Just kidding. Let me stop. This is actually not a story about a lovely lady. This is a terrible situation. And it keeps coming up, so we're going to talk about it. Doc, Doc, how are ya? Last time I saw you was at the harbor. Luigi, it's a Luigi. Luigi, Manigi. Robert Ribbit Harrison. Chattamemba, Chattamemba, Heath L. What's up, brother? Chattamemba. The countdown timer should go the other way for dark. Yeah, it should. I know. Yeah, I had some distractions this evening, but oh, what's up, Angry Sarge? What's up, brother? It's Angry Sarge. No, that doesn't sound right. Um, and I'm not sure if a lot of you may or may not know. Angry Sarge uh, helps run, owns, partial owner, the face of the company. He is involved with HCM holsters. They were the guys that custom made Palmer AT, Mr. Palmer. So they were the ones that made the custom holster for the GLOCK 19 with the TLR 7, and that shoots fire. And the individual that won that was Mark Tucka. And not everything has gone out. Let me say it differently. Not anything has gone out. It has been a crazy few days, and I apologize. But everything that is like digital or like electronic, like the codes and the all that stuff has been taken care of today. And over the next 24 or so hours, everything else will be taken care of, sent out, shipped out, all that stuff. Um, Provided that I can get by tomorrow to get everything sent out. Aegis, what's up, brother Aegis? And y'all can thank Aegis for contributing those cleaning kits. Duke, why you doing light this way? Hey, I don't do anybody any kind of way. I show up for the stream. I stream. You know what I'm saying? And if some folks don't show up, you can only peep be 80 so often. So we're going to be talking about Mr. Palmer. It and oh man, that's crazy. That's gonna last forever. Like the next day, first off, when I ended the stream, I literally started getting comments and emails, text messages saying PP80, and all the different ways people were spelling it was hilarious. And then the next morning, woke up and I got a text message from P80 Ralph that was just like P80. Oh man, it was great. It was great. It was a blast. Printing lithophanes photos for some of the fam this year. Lithophanes. What in the world is that? Is that like a P80? Robert Ribbit, effort, Ribbit. Okay, so let's go through and say what's up to y'all. What's cracking? Mr. Gerchop was the first one here this evening. Everyone congratulate Gerchop for his exceptional discipline and his. Hey, Google, that's great. Beep, beep, with a little music joint. Um, Gerchop, for your discipline, for your patience, for your commitment. I honor you, my friend. OP, PPOP, Heath L, OP, AGR. For those of y'all that don't know, that's Appalachian Gun Runner. Joe Morris, what's up, brother? wrapping the kids' gifts and waiting for some DLD live action. I like it. Kind of smells like Christmas. I haven't even started shopping. Don't feel bad. My wife was literally done with Christmas shopping by like the 21st of November. I was like, you make me sick. Frying rich in the house, Robert Ribbit says. 9mm Slim. What's up, y'all? Is that, yeah, that's definitely Christian Bale with a gay R15. That's gangster. I thought I smelled frying PLA. Rejoice, rejoice. I want to ride. What up, what up? Man against the masses. They just added pad thai to the canteen at High Desert State Prison. I am ecstatic. What? Bro, the, I'm not even gonna touch that one. Duke, Duke, JC9 was cracking player. Faith, what up? Hey Doc, can't stay. Super busy. Wanted to say hey, I can't stay. Bob, 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 Bob. Yo, you know what's crazy, y'all? What dungeon? Oh man, y'all talking about dungeons up in this biatch? You know what's crazy? Too many choices. What's up, brother? 40 Smith and get TMF out of here. Too many choices. 40 Smith and Wesson for the win, bro. 40 Smith and Wesson does nothing effectively. Nothing. It does nothing. Doesn't even go off. It it's all corrosive. It's got 2,000% more recoil than 50 BMG. It's I'm just playing. Okay, please don't actually take what I'm saying literally. BS, Gerchob. I'm not. I would actually believe that for real. If Gerchop was like, "Yo, I've been on the phone with y'all for the last year and a half, and I am in the federal penitentiary," I would actually believe it. I sold kind of. Oh, eep, eep. Okay, so what's up, Swampy? Hey, y'all, driving but almost home. 40 is okay. You just have to shoot ball though. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, you know what, Swampy? Be safe. Be safe and be dangerous. Anyway, so a couple things here. One thing I want to hit first is number one. Uh, I don't know if you guys recall, but there is one thing. Dang, why T for Texas say bye? Bye, Felicia. Why you going peace out like that, man? You gonna roll, man, everyone? Let's just tell T for Texas to stay. All right. DB, what up? Why you say that? Yeah, I don't necessarily think that shooting ball is necessary for 40. I think shooting ball could be necessary for other cartridges that are slightly underpowered. Um, so I think I don't see a benefit to shooting ball. I don't see a benefit to shooting 40 caliber at all. I think all 40 caliber should go extinct. But as I say that jokingly, partially, I do think I see a true benefit for like the concept of it was a good idea, right? It's like, how do we take these FUDs that won't let go of their 1911 because they need that stopping power because I can't carry a 46, and how do I get these 9 mil guys that are like, I just can't take anything that's more snappy, you know, um, and then meet in the middle. And I do think that the concept, what's up, Jay Duffy? Um, I think the concept was a good idea. I think the actual performance of the 40 is subpar at best. And with ammunition technology coming as far as it has, um, I think it's 40 Smith& and Wesson check at Hollow Point will not penetrate for nothing. So I don't think you're using those words literally, so I won't hold it against you. Will not penetrate for nothing. So you have to pay it to penetrate, is what I'm saying. FDSS says smash that like button, folks. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. What's up, DSS? Martin Kaminsky, what up? 40 is a great way to shoot your 10 for cheap. Yeah, that's for sure. I like my 23. You know what? Funny thing, little bunny trail here. I used to carry a 23. I used to carry a 23. I carried a 32. Now, I'm not talking about 32 ACP. I am talking about a Geelocity um, Model 32 in 357 SIG. I actually had to put down a pig with a 32 in 357 SIG. And that's an exciting story. If you haven't heard that one, Shooting Gallery New England. What's up, brother? What's crack-a-lackin', as he says. Yep, you know, he fell. He fell. He knows what's up. Josh Awake says, evening. Piede. So I did carry a 23 for a while, carried a 32 for a while, 19 for a while. And I mean, I used to rock a J frame with a whole bunch of bullets all over my ass. Um, Now 357 SIG, that will penetrate. Gerchob said it. You heard it here first, folks. Um, an interesting thing. The 23, I actually had to draw, on an individual. I'm happy to tell that story as well. Peace out, Faith. Um, so I did draw down on somebody with a 23. And I don't know if y'all know about those HSTs, but woo, those HSTs, bro, those things are fire. And the reason, honestly, the reason I moved from 40 to 9 was to suppress all my stuff. And I was like, all right, so I can move from 40 to 45 and suppress everything with subsonic 230 grain standard pressure, or I could move to 9 and run supersonics when I want to, or run some 147s or even 140 or 158s, whatever. So you kind of get the choice, right? I can still push supersonics through the 9 with or without the can, whatever. Or I can, so I opted for the 9 as opposed to the 45. Then I found out years later that there is a lot of heavy 40 that is subsonic. I'm like, bro, what? No one told me this. They were like, oh, you want to run a can? Your options are 45 and 9. It's like, oh, well, clearly 9. I can't put a 33 rounder on my full field. Um, but I rocked a 21 for a while too. Um, I'd only been in a couple situations where I had to use a firearm. Um, Happy to talk about any of them. Excuse me. The 23, you get 357 SIG, 40, and 9 millimeter all in one. Yeah, I mean, to effectively. So, yes, I agree with you, Heath. That is true. Getting the 23 allows you to run all three calibers. Um, Personally, I just, you know, I'm a 9 mil guy. You know, I do see the benefit in that. Just make sure if you are running a 23 and converting it to 9, that you are changing the ejector with your barrel. With I think the extractor you can keep in there. I don't know. I genuinely don't know if you need to change the extractor, but I know it is best to change the ejector. You'll see that there is a very different. The 40 is a straight ejector. I probably got one sitting around here. Probably got a BB-80 sitting around here. I don't really want to. Let's see. Always need that visual inspection. it's still gonna flag them if I show this. Well, so the 40 ejector is straight. The 9 mil is slightly canted, and it's because the cartridges have different geometry. And if you're rocking a 357 SIG or 40, you can use the same ejector all day. Just switch a barrel. Only a barrel swap. You can use the same magazines. If you're switching in a 23 to a 9, then you would need to do a barrel swap and an ejector swap. Not sure if you would need to swap the extractor. The Lone Wolf barrel works fine without changing the ejector. Interesting. Okay. The 40 to 9 barrel. Nice. The only sights you'll ever need are excess big dots. You know it's true. I did like excess big dots for smaller pieces that are like definitely for very up close. So let's go back to the J frame, right? Used to rock a J frame. Um, having an excess big dot, on the front of that is fine because I'm not going to be shooting, super far with that at all. But if you've ever not had to, if you've ever had the opportunity to, stretch the legs of your 26, 19, 17, 34, or 27, 23, your uh, 22, your 24, your 17L, whatever, right? If you've ever brought that thing out to like 100 yards, having a massive front sight will cover an entire silhouette downrange. So, what I've found is having more narrow front sights with a platform with a longer sight radius has been wildly helpful. And I also am, I'm proud to say this, I just crept in to the uh, red dot on a pistol world, and actually tomorrow, uh, Crump, congratulations! Tomorrow, I will be getting my first RMR footprint red dot for my. I think I'll probably put on a 19, maybe a 17, but most likely a 19. And that thing, I mean, I could slap a steel silhouette at 100 yards with a 17. Um, I've done it with a 19 too, but it's not ideal. But just having that capability is good. So with an excess big dot, I mean, it just kind of covers the whole front. If you shoot someone at 100 yards, they'll charge you with moida, the waste kind. Moida. No, for sure. That's not for like a self-preservation. Well, let me say it differently. That's not for like a realistic self-defense scenario, right? That's like my rifle is down and I have like 0. I texted you back, jackass. Well, no, I was saying congratulations that the package is coming. Oh, sup. I like how your response back was sup, like straight up, like 2004. No, I was just hitting you up, man, just to check in with you, see how you're doing, and also to let you know that I think there's 3 more things coming out your way, and then after that, we'll be done for now. One MOA dots on pistols are the shiznittle bam slip slap slam at 100 yards. Okay, let me check one thing and then we're about to get into a real talk. Deep voice, deep voice. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. See if they already hit me. Bro, what did I say? What did I say? Like, why did they do this immediately? Dude, I'm this is crazy. We're about to talk about a very serious situation. Okay, what's up, Take America Back? We're about to talk about a very serious situation, right? And it's important that this discussion gets out to more people. They have already hit me. I'll show you. I have no problem showing you. BB-8. Start the stream over, bro. We'll come back. They'll just do the same thing because you're a troublemaker. That's for sure. I am part of Team Uncool. I am an anti-influencer, and they know it. And the fact that they already hit me when I didn't even speak about anything, I only used numbers. I did not. I mean, this is crazy. God damn, bro. I cannot believe that shit. I mean, I can believe that shit. The last one, they literally hit me with the yellow dollar sign before we went live, which I did not even know was possible. Personally, I think it was chat. It's that damn PP80. Yeah, the problem is it is the AI. They may come back and turn it green. Like, no, I'm not. It's just gonna be so inconvenient for y'all to for me to shut it down, to start it again, to bring y'all back in, and for people coming back to rewatch it. It's not gonna be worth it. And it would actually be helpful if after everything is done, um, if somebody could come in on the comment and be like, "Hey, at 25 minutes the conversation starts," or something like that. Because I like to chill for a minute, say what's up to y'all, kind of chat, shoot the shit. Um, yeah, because there is something that we should talk about. I will, because it is highly entertaining. I will tell a story about the pig that I had to put down. Let me just tell one person something real quick. John Crump, that was for you. It's that damn PPA. You had a thumbs down before your stream started. I know, bro. It's you could see it. Oh, did they bring dislikes back? Oh, you know what? I didn't get a notification. It's so funny how they play this, dude. It's nuts. Like they Oh, and of course, when I pull it up, it's like, oh, look, right here. This is dark. Really? Whoa, that is a big bank. All right, sorry, click the wrong one. The type of ish they're trying to suck you in and destroy you. So they're like, oh yeah, check this out. Dark's right here, just having a little fun. Why don't you come on in and join them? I'm so glad that was you and not somebody that ooh, Tucson officer fired for bad shoot. May face charges. Um, that voice sounds terrible. All right, so I like that joint. Share that joint. You can actually share it to yourself for analytics. Just gonna let y'all know that right now. I'm gonna share it with Crumpy. I'm gonna do anyway. All right. So okay, conversation starts at 25 minutes. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things. Who here has heard recently about the 13-year-old? It was the Skittles. I knew it. I knew it. If I type that in vid comments, it gets deleted. What are you talking about? That it starts at 25 minutes past that joint. So I went to opera. Really? That wheelchair was kind of effed. I didn't see the wheelchair joint. It's because they know where you hide the Skittles. Ah, they know that PWEDCing the Skittles. See, but it's just so convenient. It's like Skittles, you know. I mean, you can also hide it in the butt of your rifle. Safety doc. Funny thing is, safety doc, you're gonna come in here like a year from now and be at like 10,000 subs and be like, I remember when I used to go into dark streams and, you know, congratulate myself for achieving 844 subs. Um, the Jugal, the Jugal. Recorded a show last night. Have it out in video, audio, and blog post. Well, good for you, the safety doc. I like to hear it. That thumbnail got me acting up, right? Samson Falcon. What's up, brother? So, just a quick note, then we'll get into the conversation. That thumbnail was actually sent to me 2, 3 weeks ago. One of the guys that I know, that I'd known from back in the day, like when the first Dugan Discord started, he was like one of my roll dogs. He may be lurking in here. If you're there, love you, brother. You know who you are. You're probably gonna text me and be like, "Bro, how you gonna use my picture?" Um, but anyway, the Palmetto State Defense, when everything was happening with Dugan, and everyone was trying to raise money. They brought back. They did the original Carnicon lowers. They brought back the Carnicon lowers and uppers. And you know what they did? Because they only came up with 100, which they sold out like that. I missed that first snap. That was awkward. That's how dry it is here. It's like sandpaper. Um, they sent out every single unit with the Carnicon lower, the Carnicon upper, and then they included that picture of Ryan Reynolds and the Skittles for every single one. So I sent the picture to him and I was like, bro, my guy sent this to me and it just made my heart happy. Thank you so much for what you do. And you know what he said? He's like, I'm glad you hit me up. I saved one for you. I put a set to the side for you. I was like, dude, I mean, I still gotta buy him, but he saved a set for me. Like that's dope. Because early on, I had offered. I was like, look, if you give me an upper and a lower, what I'll do is I'll like auction it off, whatever. I'll give it to the highest donator or whatever, and then if we raffle it off, auction off, whatever is legally allowed. Then we'll take the money and we'll donate it to the GoFundMe. But then it got and it was shut down at 150K. So remember though, this is Palmetto State Defense, not Palmetto State Armory. So different companies. Oh, nice. How many dislikes do I have? I'd guess 3. Yeah, zero weight oil. That Aegis is no joke. That Aegis, that PP Aegis. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna jump in the conversation. It's at 29 minutes and 30 seconds. So if some of you have heard about a situation with a certain 13-year-old, there is a 13-year-old um, that was building 80 percenters and selling them in Georgia. Now, the interesting thing here is, well, I'll just start at the top of the story. So this 13-year-old was making and selling P80s. Now, there's a little gray area here, right? Because, well, that's another conversation. I don't give advice on stuff like that. Um, but this guy, well, this kid, is 13 years old, accidentally killed his sister. His older sister, she was 14. 2 dislikes so far. Okay, that's not too bad. So only 2 federal agents in here. Did Natalie Portman really stand up to really? Why are you always talking about white chicks? Skinny, super skinny white chicks. Gerchop is like low key. You must be locked up. Gerchop finally told us the truth, talking about why he can't do voice chat in Discord. I see you, brother. I see you. I see you, Gerchop. Shaking that Discord link. Um, so this 13-year-old was making and selling P80s on the street. and there was a situation, there was a robbery, and he accidentally killed his sister. So on November 27th, the Douglas County, it's in Georgia, police department got a phone call at 2:35 p.m. that there was a girl shot at 3609 Vicky Lane. The girl was shot during a robbery. So what happened was this 13-year-old that was building and selling P80s. And it's interesting that this is happening right now, right? And you could go as deep down the rabbit hole as you want with this, but it's just very odd that right around the corner from the GATF making a new proposed rule for 80% frames and receivers and uh, gun pots and things like that, um, that something like this would happen. Like, how often do you hear about 80 percenters ending up in situations like this? Not typically. Um, so this is what I believe to be mostly real news. I can't tell you what the CNN version is. I can't tell you what the Fox version is. I'm not even going to pay attention to any of that shit. I'm looking at like actual real information. And I was sent actually a really good video on it. Um, the guy I think was doing a terrible Boston accent, but then he kind of had like a country accent, like naturally. But anyway, um, I kind of double checked the information, and yeah, that's what I'm saying. I smell BS too. I will give the information out that I found. I will let you guys come to your own conclusion, draw your own conclusion uh, as far as what you believe this to be. An op, it could be something that someone was encouraged to do, or I don't know, total sabotage, because it gets deep. It actually gets really deep. It's not just about this situation. There's a whole nother situation behind it, several, um, that will reveal a dark family history. Yeah, you gotta watch that video. So, November 27th, Douglas County Police Department got a phone call. It's in Georgia at 2:35 p.m. of a girl shot at 3609 Vicky Lane. This kid that was 13 years old, that was apparently, allegedly, making and selling P80s, putting them on the street, um, set up a buy. And this kid, Yusuf, and another kid, they were both older. They were both 19. He was 13. Were supposed to come over and purchase completed 80 percenter. And they come over, and they're in his bedroom. His sister is in the house, and the one guy, Yusuf, comes behind him and puts him in a headlock and chokes him out till he's almost out. So the dude's almost completely out, and they he kept him in a headlock until he could grab the gun and then run with it. Well, he didn't count on the fact that this 13-year-old had a few P80s, P80s, and dude pulled out and just started busting at the guy Yusef running away. Well, during that time when he was busting at Yusef, who had just robbed him for that gun, and who knows, he could have been thinking like, "Oh my God, this guy's gonna go do terrible things with this. I have to do the right thing and stop him." Or it was like, "Oh hell no, this fool ain't gonna jack me." Who knows? And again, who knows what the reality of this situation is? I'm just giving the information out that I have gotten myself. So, dude chokes him out, steals the P80, runs. The 13-year-old, Wilson, draws his own P80 and starts busting at the dude through the house, just like mag dumping, and ends up hitting his 14-year-old sister in the chest, like sternum shot, okay, which can prove to be very fatal. So the two guys that robbed him made off. They ended up, they're 5 minutes from the hospital where they are in Douglas County, Georgia. And They could not wait for an ambulance because she was leaking and she was fading very quickly. So they grabbed her, literally threw her in the car, and then they drove 2 minutes down the street to a gas station, a Marathon gas station. And basically they saw how quickly she was fading, and they were like, okay, we have to stop right here and see if we can get help from anyone else. So they pulled up to the gas station, and they got out, and they were hold on, sorry guys. So they pull up to the gas station, they get out, they literally bring his sister, his 14-year-old girl, out and lay her on the ground, and they're begging and pleading people to come help her, that she's leaking. Is this kid the new white boy Rick? Yeah, you want fries with that? So at the gas station, they're asking people for help. People have called the police. People have called the ambulance, and she's fading at this point. Um, and police end up coming, ambulance ends up coming. She's lifeless, and she's pronounced DOA. Um, I don't know why. I mean, 3 additional minutes to the hospital. Like, I get, like, I couldn't imagine, like, in that moment where your sister is leaking, fading, choking, gurgling. I mean, that's like every precious second would be ticking by. Like, I mean, that would be terrible, right? Like, but knowing that her only chance for survival, you can't tourniquet her neck and arms, and you can't, you know what I mean? Like, there's only, this is why first aid is so fucking important. Um, but this, they're going to classify this as shocking material. But anyway, so they could have just gone an additional 3 minutes to the hospital, and it would have been her best chances for survival. But they didn't. They got out of the gas station and screamed for random people to come help while your sister is leaking, gurgling up blood and shit on the ground, on the concrete, where, like, dog, your sister. Okay, sorry, I'm getting off track here. Um, so when the police arrived, 13-year-old Wilson Scott III said, "It was me. I shot my sister." They took him into custody. Um, the first question I pose to myself is this odd that this is happening right now at a time like this, when the rule change is literally right in front, right in our, what is it? Right in front of us, whatever. Um, the proposed rule changes in the near future, and you don't typically hear things about P80s and ghost naners, like, as you do other things. Like, it's almost like this has been uh, it's odd, and I would say that, in my opinion, it almost seems too good to be true for those that would have an agenda against privately manufactured firearms. And the fact that there's a 13-year-old kid cranking out P80s left and right, that's another issue we're going to get to. So is it odd that this is happening in this time frame right now? Yes, absolutely, 100%. It smells like an op. It smells like bullshit. It smell Yeah, Martin says it sounds made up. Now, it appears that a real 14-year-old girl has died. It appears that a real 13-year-old boy had accidentally shot her. Could this just be one incident, one situation with one gun? I mean, like, of course. And then they blow it up and they put it everywhere, all over the place. And that's why we haven't even talked about this. But Yusuf MacArthur L. Put the kid in a headlock, like I said, da da da, choked him out, took the gun, ran off. Wilson grabbed another completed 80 percenter, dumped several rounds at Yusuf, striking his sister in the chest, mortally wounding her. Um, and this, so I don't know if you guys are builders, a lot of you guys are builders, and I'm down here in the basement, right? When I'm working on an 80 percenter, or when I'm doing basic gunsmithing shit, like I'll take a punch and ting ting ting, and my wife will be like, "What the fuck is that noise? It's so loud. Stop being so loud," you know? And I'm like, how is this 13-year-old kid 13. Okay, think back to when you were 13. How is this 13-year-old kid supposedly cranking out all these 80s, okay, making all these online purchases? So he's got access to a credit card, which I guess nowadays you can get any kind of bullshit credit card online, whatever, right? Um, it just seems really, really odd. And then, like, the question is like, well, where are the parents? Like, were the parents at home? Were the parents watching? Were the parents listening? You know, if I'm a parent, right? I have a daughter who's about to be 5, right? If I heard Dremels buzzing in her room and filing and shaving and racking and I mean, the amount of noise and I've gotten good at what I call quiet gunsmithing, right? When I'm like, like I've mastered that shit. Okay. So this 13-year-old likely has not, if this is what happened. And just bet on the fact that we're being lied to, okay? This is just the information that I'm giving to you guys. You do what you will with it. Um, this is what's been reported. So everyone's like, "Well, where are the parents?" Okay, well, let's look into the mom. The mom is, working full time, uh, single mom. Father is not present. Okay, well, let's look into it. Why is the father not present? Well, the father is not present because he is currently doing 22 years in the federal penitentiary with an additional 5-year parole and probation um, post sentencing because he is a convicted pedophile and rapey guy of the minors. He's a map is what some people call it. Oh, dude, I feel disgusting even saying that. I'm sorry. That was meant to be a joke, but that is just terrible that that's what's being normalized. Can I say horse and crap? Hold on, let me go back here. Fishy, fishy water. That fishy water. That fishy water. Because he don't have 3-year-old daughters. Hold on, what did I miss here? I'm sorry, y'all. It's hard to focus on this in chat. Betcha it was just 2 stolen P80s and AFT has changed the story for Agenda 21 confiscation. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, you never truly know, right? Like, these could have been 2 completely legitimate P80s that were, made legally at, like, their neighbor's house, and somebody just happened to cross them and crime of opportunity, snatched them up and sold them, right? Kids don't know shit. I mean, oh, bro. T for Texas, please look up on some other type of search engine what a map is. It is people that are trying to normalize pedophilia. Fuck it, I'll say it. I don't care. So a map is what's up, Matrix? A map is a uh, minor attracted person. They are literally trying to normalize pedophilia in the world socially so it becomes acceptable. Just like look at what's happened from the 80s to today these the 80s to today these from the 80s to today. Look at how much more acceptable, just homosexuality is. Look how much more acceptable divorce is. Look how much more acceptable, you know, um, acting outside of the fundamentals of a religion, right? Like, we're talking like 40 years has gone by, and I don't have anything like, whatever. You're gay, you're gay, whatever. Go, suck dick. Great. Congratulations. Whatever the okay, whatever. Am I about that life? Fuck no. Um, the moment that you take see that there's not a victim in that well, some would say there's not necessarily a victim in that situation, right? We're talking about in this situation right here, this guy. Um, they said he was and they showed up and they actually were testifying on his behalf that he was the rock that held the family together. And this father was the one that all the bikes of the neighborhood were out front of the house. I bet they were. And blah blah blah. And here's what happened. So the dad is at home, mom is out working, and the 13-year-old is there, the 14-year-old is there, and a friend is there. Okay. So the friend is staying over with the 14-year-old. And so let me back up here 14-year-old girl, 14-year-old daughter, 13-year-old son, and then a friend, which I imagine is around that same age as well. And they're sitting watching TV. What's up, Space Texan? In my parents' time, it was the normalization. Hold up, let me go. Or I'll come back to that. One sec. So they're sitting there watching TV. It's late at night. Um, Damn, I'm getting so distracted by chat. I'm sorry. I love you guys. I love you guys. Hang on, let me get through this. What's up, Bacon? Um, Hold up. Be So they're sitting there watching TV. So he's actually a second. The 13-year-old is a third. So his name is Wilson Scott the second. That's the father. That's the dirtbag that's doing 22 years for rapey stuff with kids. So drag is the blackface of today, basically. So they're sitting there watching TV. Dad, 13-year-old daughter. I'm sorry, 14-year-old daughter, 13-year-old son, and a friend, the girl that is around the same age, I'm sure, is the daughter. And I'll tell you how I came to that conclusion in a moment. And um, the father told the son, "Go shower." Son's like, "Nah, I'm not trying to shower. I don't want to shower." He's like, "Go shower right now." She's like, "Okay." And then he tells or no, the 13-year-old daughter, 14-year-old daughter went to do something like in another room, right? So it ends up being just the father, which is Wilson Scott the second, and the guy doing 22 years for rapey stuff to kids, and this girl who is between the ages of 12 and 21. I would surmise that she is much closer to the age of her son of his son and daughter. And he says something like, "I really like." Oh, I don't even want to say this shit, man. Oh, but it's important to get the information out if it is indeed true. It At least this part can be confirmed. Um, so the guy says, like, I really like you. I like your body, and he asks her to expose herself, of which she then declines, and then goes to the bathroom and locks herself in the bathroom. Okay, and ends up getting out, and they do their evening routine, they do their thing, and at night everyone goes to sleep, and he had come into her room several times and tried to get her to do stuff, and she had declined. Well, in the middle of the night, she ends up going to the bathroom, and there was no toilet paper. Like, not like they ran out of toilet paper, like the toilet paper was removed. And the only person in the home that was tall enough to reach the toilet paper at the very top shelf was, guess who? The dad, Wilson Scott II. So she has to go get him to get the toilet paper. He gets it, he corners her in the bathroom and forcibly exposes her breast, and she pushed him out, locked herself in the bathroom again. Like, first off, why are you staying at this house? You can't tell me that this is the first time some weird shit has happened. okay? And you're going back? Yeah, but she's my friend. Yeah, but come on, dude. Really? God damn. So she locks herself in the bathroom and then waits for him to leave. He finally leaves. She gets out of the bathroom. She had apparently, and this came up in the court case, she had texted several of her friends telling them what was going on. They offered to pick her up, and she said no. It will like look weird. My parents will get upset. My whatever. So I'll just stay the night here. Well, what happened is she went back into her room. She probably didn't even pee. That's unfortunate. Um, I don't know why that came to mind, but she went back to the room she was sleeping in, and he makes his way into the room that she was sleeping in twice, forces himself upon her twice. And she had said, I could not match his strength. Like he held me down and did his thing. It is. It's terrible. It is horrible. It is disgusting. And I don't believe that any of that shit is a lie or dishonest. Like there's no reason you know, there's no agenda for this. If anything, there's an agenda to make these motherfuckers like more like normal. Like it's totally normal to be a map. Oh, God bless us. Um so anyway, he does his thing twice, okay, which is fucking terrible. Pure terror for a girl of that age, man. Any age, like, you know, where was that P80 that was laying around, right? Yeah, that would have ended differently. Um, so anyway, in the morning, they wake up, are getting their stuff together to all go out the door, and she basically grabs her stuff and jets out of the house, and he walks out, and as she's walking away he says, are you going to send me to jail? And she turned around and said yes, and she bounces, ends up telling her parents and the police what happened. Homeboy got arrested. This is the Wilson Scott the second. This is the father. He ends up getting sentenced to 22 years with an additional 5 years of rehabilitation, parole, probation, and all that shit afterwards. He'll probably get out in a couple of years on good behavior. The family showed up, and I can't say showed up because what actually happened was the mom wasn't even present in person. She called into court. She's testifying over the phone with her 5 kids in the vehicle. Okay. And I don't know if y'all know what 5 kids together sounds like, but goddamn. And she calls in to say that she doesn't believe this is true. She believe that this is, which were the words that were used? She believes he's innocent, blah, 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 right? She's saying he's the rock of the house. He keeps everyone together. This is Sons of Soros. You know what? But at this point, there's nothing that would surprise me. I see it happening. The sex crime laws in California have gotten more relaxed, and they don't even refer to them as sex offenders anymore. Pure evil. Yep, and that's what their intention is to do, probably worldwide. I like watching reviews of Dollar Tree lighters. I guess when you're locked up, you ain't really got much else to do. Gerchop, when do you get out? Um, So during court, his brother testifies on his behalf, and he says that he's the rock that holds the house together. He's the one that supports all of them and everything, and he's never been known to do anything like this, and he's a good man, and all of this shit. And then also, wifey calls 'cause she can't be there because it's not important, right? So I call bullshit right there because if something like that was happening and it wasn't true, you didn't believe it was true, you would stop and drop anything and everything to be there for your loved one that was facing this level of, I mean, this is serious shit. So, um, anyway, she says that, you know, his house is the one that all the bikes in the neighborhood are out front of, and all the neighborhood kids, which is more creepy, come over there to play. And there's never been an incident like this reported in the past, and blah, 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 all this crazy shit. So, when you're asking where the parents are, right, and the father is out of the house, not only is he out of the house, but he is doing, a quarter century for being rapey with one of the kid's friends. And I don't know if he actually did. I believe one of the two times he did physically rape her. Um, didn't. Oh God. Um, but it's disgusting, and I'm sorry. I know this topic is disgusting. I apologize, but it's part of the story, and it all goes hand in hand because it's dark, man. I mean, you got a 13-year-old, right? That is like, let's just say that it's true, okay? Um, Even though there's some red flags around this type of shit. Let's just say that it's true. All right. You have a father that is not in the household. You have a father that's doing a quarter of a century in a federal penitentiary for doing rapey things with a little girl, and a little girl that's basically his age. And you got a mom that's working, supporting five children, and she's gone, you know? And some have even said that, for a child to be able to do this, this child would need a couple things. Number one, they would need to be able to go online and purchase everything, all the parts, the 80s, the PP80s, all that shit. And I honestly, I was conflicted. Like, this has come up so many times. I was conflicted in even talking about this because what now I'm doing is perpetuating the conversation of, these, 80s are getting in the hands of. They're not. They're not. It is a 0.0 something percent problem that should not even be on our radar. The reason it's on the radar is because of the proposed rule making that's going to be coming up in the future. And it's just very odd. They're either taking this tragedy and exploiting it because it furthers their agenda, or they are creating these situations. Yeah, I know. The entire story is beyond insane. It is. How he only get 25 years though. Which you talking about? Homeboy that was rapey? Please show us your horrible tattoos. Hey man, I mean, I would say my tattoos aren't horrible. They all mean something to me. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole bunch of bullets right there. I got I don't want to show too much identifying markers, but you know, they're important to me. This one is important specifically for a couple of reasons. Got that red dough, that red dough. Um, The kid also needs to watch YouTube videos to learn how to drill the holes. Yeah, so that was the other thing is that they were commenting on how. So here's another thing. Okay, so I'm thinking about all this and I'm painting the whole picture. Okay, what have they been focusing on with laser accuracy? They've been focusing on 80% videos and YouTube, specifically on YouTube. For an example, Mr. Joshua Eaton Dix did several articles and recorded videos and interviews with some of the most popular P80 channels out there. Some declined to comment, some did interviews. P80 Ralph did an interview. I thought he handled himself very well doing that. And it appears to me that MSNBC is taking a big chunk of time, energy, resources, funding, and putting it towards knocking out the PED information that's online. Okay, they want to make it as difficult as possible to to be out there. which once the information is out there, you're short. That's it, right? Delete as many YouTube videos as you want because guess what? It's all archived on the internet. You can find it anywhere. Well, not anywhere. There's a couple specific places, but anyone can find it. And if these mainstream media companies are then coming in, they're targeting P80s and they are targeting content creators that specifically focus on 80% style building videos, and they throw down the hammer, they demonetize them, they demoralize them, they take their videos away, they take their funding away, they're crushing them, and then they're writing these huge stories about it all over the place. They're pushing it out there on the internet, in print, getting like it is a campaign against privately manufactured firearms. So then you take something like that and then you add a tragedy and boom, you got everything you need to get society, to get, you know, socially, these things are unacceptable because look what happens. Look what happens when people can just build stuff like that. Like we've always been able to build stuff. It's just become easier with 80% frames, lowers, receivers, whatever you want to call them. You will never be able to outlaw crime. And this is hopefully for somebody listening that believes, their beliefs are in opposition to mine and ours. You can't outlaw crime. Think about that. Uh, uh, no, you still don't. Okay. You can't outlaw crime. Criminals, by definition, are going to break the rules, laws, regulations, restrictions, sanctions, whatever. They're going to break them. So, therefore, you legislating or socially creating these restrictions is not going to change anything. As a matter of fact, some would say you're only creating a black market for this shit, right? If I could turn around and flip my P80s, look at the Strike 80s. The Strike 80s went from 100, $150 to five, six, seven, $800. Luigi, you know what I'm talking about, brother man? But that's, I mean, that's for a different reason, right? But that. Give me a moment, please. So I'm seeing this as a part of a campaign. 99.99% lowers Germax, bitch. I made it. My philosophy teacher, who was a Vietnam vet, used to say, "You can't legislate morality." Yep, absolutely. I only recently understood what he was trying to teach us. See, and that's, you can't legislate morality. You can't even, well, I was going to say something, but I don't believe it in entirety. So I was going to say you can't socially enforce morality, but that's not true because I want everyone to think back to, I mean, 70 years ago. Let's use the 50s as an example. Going back to some of the other topics that we hit on tonight, and obviously I wasn't alive in the 50s, all right? I'm going off of what the old heads have shared with me. So things were not socially acceptable. Going back to some of the topics we hit earlier, homosexuality was not an acceptable topic to discuss. Divorce was not socially acceptable. Um, if you were a known Catholic or a known Christian or whatever religion, if you were to deviate from the principles of that religion amongst your community, you would be called on it pre-Beatles. Yeah. Social pressure can do a lot. How far are we from that time frame where people would watch you. People would call you out on your shit. People would call you a dirtbag. People would say, "Hey, you said you were this, but you're doing this. Like this doesn't match. So you're either a dirtbag or you have some explaining to do." It can be used as an effective tool to legislate without Congress, to legislate without law, to socially enforce things. And I've spoken about this several times on stream, dozens of times on stream, because it is the same exact thing that you are seeing right now with other things, right? With the juice, with the the old Halloween mask, with these things are becoming enforced socially. So laws don't have to be enforced when the general populace is doing your job for you. They are doing the job of police. They're doing the job of legislators. They are saying, that's not socially acceptable. Get out, leave. You can't go to this grocery store. You can't go to this bar. You can't go to this, gym. You can't go to the, like, hold on. What? Like, when did this happen? When did this completely switch? The world has changed. And it didn't just change because of technology. It didn't just change because of YouTube. It didn't just change because of cell phones. That's done a lot. But this is something that is planned. This is something that is designed. This is something that is literally by purposeful design being played out over the course of hundreds of years, all coming to this point, right? Either taking a tragedy and exploiting it for their benefit to further their agenda, or they're creating events that further their agenda. And I'm not saying that, this group of people in dark cloaks went out and said, we need to find some 13-year-old that's about the cause. And I mean, maybe this is some ultra KM stuff. I don't even want to say it. Y'all know what I'm saying. The New World Order. ZS with the save. You already know, brother. The New World Order. The New World Order, pulling the strings, playing with the fibers of the world to bring us in a direction of pure hatred and evil. That's what I feel. I mean, do you guys feel it? Do you guys feel like the general populace is just totally okay with evil? They are just accepting all these disgusting things, all these, oh man, it like breaks my mind at times. There you go. Ting Ting's got it. Israel owns the media. Hold on, where'd it go? The media banks politics in the USA, not China. Absolutely. 100%. This is all, everything goes back to that. Look at the cabinet. Look at the current cabinet of the United States president. Every single person shoot people. Look at every single major organization in the world. Look at Vanguard, right? Look at BlackRock. Look at BLM. Look, everything, everyone shoot people. Look at Hollywood. Look at everything that happens within Hollywood. They're all fucking cobblers. I know. I know. Damn, I thought you meant to juice it first. Nice to see so many people awake on point. Well, I mean both, actually. I'd say both. The juice. I was so in that moment, I was referring to the VAX juice, but yeah, I mean, we're talking about small hats. Now, that's not to say I do not want this to get confused. I don't want people to say, "Oh, well, since you're talking about small hats, that means that all small hats are bad." No, that's not what we're talking about at all. There is a particular group of people that Dark, you are explaining the Bible right now in a worldly point of view. Before Christ's return, people would be lovers of self and children would be rebellious against parents. Jesus also warned of the evening, y'all. What's up, Jake the Great? Jake the Great. I'm probably going to get a bunch of subs that are like, Psh, I am out of here. This guy is nutso. But yeah, I am just trying to put you on to understanding what is really going on, right? To fake hats in Israel. So, some of the biggest companies in the world, we're talking about a bank a day. So, we're talking about the organizations that hold the majority of the money, every retirement account. If you've ever had a 401k or a 403b or whatever, they Ting Ting knows what's up. Yeah. And actually, while we're on that note, I am gonna drop this in here. Mark equals. Hold on, let me pull this joint up real quick. I know that. See, they even got me programmed where I'm like, oh, let me do this here. Let me put this in because it all goes back to money. All of it is about money. Question mark AFF equals 24. Um, your company affiliate link. You already know. You said you sent me a text. Hold up. Oh my goodness. Now we're gonna bring this back with a little light, something a little lighter. Look at that. That's the real swamp dog right there. Oh, that's super cute. Super bad. Sorry, my cracked screen there. Super cute, man. Adorable dog. His name's Scout. That's super cute. Pork chop. Um, yeah. Every single person, every group, every company, every organization that is in control goes right back to that. Every war was started, funded by, and they profited from that exactly. Yeah, this is something that we haven't like about a lot on the channel lately, but I kind of wanted to get out of the like I don't know, I just felt like it was a straight like black pill, like just dark and no pun intended and crazy. You know, people just don't understand it though, and it is. It's all about control. Every single thing. It's all about control. Every single time. Yeah. Take America back. You know the deal. Every single time. Every engagement. Every company. Every president. Every politician. Everything. As the situation becomes more dire, we no longer have the option to ignore it. Yeah. and pretend it doesn't exist. Yeah, and how do you yeah, we're bombarded with buy all day, every day. They only have control if you let them. The enemy is not fearless. If they were, they would need to rely on lies to achieve. They wouldn't need to rely on lies to achieve their goals. Yeah. Well, this is probably something stupid to say. I'm gonna say it. And let me back up a little bit first. Okay, hold on. So just because you're free in your mind and in your activities doesn't truly mean that you're free. And I mean that respectfully because, brother, I love you. And um, at the same time, it's the truth is what the truth is. The truth is that, we don't have control of what keeps us alive. We don't have control of what sustains us. We have control of things that could allow us to achieve those things, but only by taking it from our brothers and sisters because they have successfully destroyed community in our world. They have completely divided the world. And then once the world was divided, they took it even further and broke us into subsections, right? And once you destroy community, once community is gone and you no longer care, like how crazy is it of how like a younger kid, right? Like somebody like around 13 or whatever, just completely devalues human life, right? Like it's a different world, man. Completely different world. My answer is to live on less. Yep. Get in a shape. Yep. Practice violence responsibly. Yep. And raise a red pilled soldier for Christ. Raising godly children is the answer, or at least one answer. Yeah, I agree. So going back to that, I would never, ever say anytime at all, ever, that a person is bad because of their beliefs, race, religion, creed, anything at all like that. I would never say that. So when I say that these particular types of people are the ones that are running the country and the world, I am not saying that people that hold those beliefs are bad. I am saying that those people that are practicing evil on a daily basis, that are doing terrible things, that are manipulating the world with money, that are forcing us to become consumers, and we do it naturally. We're like built to do that, and we give everything important away for the stupidest shit. We still have the hard drive. Actually, within the next week or less, we're gonna do a big drop. So stand by. There's just been so much other shit that's gotten in the way, like aside from like scheduled shows and everything, just some like personal stuff. And I've actually slowed the project down, and that's my bad. So don't blame Crump, blame me. But within the next week or less, what is it, Tuesday? Within the next week or less, we're doing a pretty big drop. So please keep an eye out on your notifications if they work, which they probably won't. Um, yes, so Ting Ting, we are all brothers and sisters. And this is the thing that drives me nuts. People that are, you know, standing up on their thank you, brother. Appreciate you, Dingo. A dingo stole my baby. What's up, John Doe? What was I saying? Sorry, I got sidetracked. A dingo stole my baby, sidetracked me. Project Veritas type drop? Maybe. Is that you, Vash? Vash, is that you? I think I see you in there. I think I see you, brother. I see you, Vashy, shaking that Vash. Anyway, getting back to it. Yeah, they've destroyed the community aspect of it. We hate each other, and people with these certain beliefs don't like these people with these certain beliefs. And what does that sound like? Look at other countries that don't have the same rule of law where things like that are happening. What is happening in the streets? Somebody please tell me in chat what is happening in the streets of people that disagree fundamentally with, let's say, religion. What do they do to each other? And it's normalized. Printing an ornament now. Oh, hell yeah. Printing for the win. Ting. The guys we were talking about sacrificed 6.66 million of their own people in World War II. They aren't Orthodox. They are Mystery Babylon worshipping elites. They hate the real small hats. Yeah. Yeah, my man, not your average goy, knows the deal. These are very, very different. I don't want you to get confused because I would never, ever want people to think that I am sharing a message of of hate, disdain, or it's nothing like that at all. What I dislike is evil. That's what I dislike. And I don't care what you are, who you are, what your beliefs are, what your race, religion, color, creed, any of that shit. What I care about is evil. Oh man, Luminous, you're missing a good one, brother. Um, so anyway, what I'm saying is that we have these beliefs, right? And we like, let's say, a conservative Republican and a leftist extremist, right? They meet in the street and they hate each other. There's been instances of people literally being murdered, which is typically what happens in other countries. And they're killing each other because of what they think, because of thoughts. And most of these people are born into these thoughts and ideals and religions, and I mean they don't always pick it, right? They also just probably out of laziness haven't done any exploration on anything else, so they just live their life that way. So they end up getting murked and murking other people, and I sit here and I'm like wondering how could we ever break through this to bring community back to the world, to bring people back together to where they care about each other, even if they disagree fundamentally on, certain things, right? But how do we bring the idea back of love thy brother, love thy sister, even if they believe in something that is different? Like people, I've heard people say like, "Oh, when the boog pops off, the first thing I'm gonna do is go like whack, 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 whack," and I'm like, "What? No, go share water with them. Go break bread with them. Go." At the end of every single stream, I always say the same thing. And I know I see it, man. I have 50, 60, 80, sometimes close to 100 people in here, sometimes 30, right? It depends. But I see it. When I start saying my little thing at the end of every single stream, I see like, I see just people just leaving, right? They're like, oh, Dark is doing his little ending thing, so it's done, right? That is quite possibly the most important part of what I do. Every time I go live, I say the same thing at the end. I say, "Be kind." Rule number 1 is be kind. It is, like, wildly important that you are a kind person. It is something that costs you nothing, and it's something that nets, more benefits than anything else. So be kind, number 1. Number two, live a life of care, compassion, and contribution. Give to others. Be giving, right? Being giving. Why do I say that? So you care less about material shit. And I'm stuck in the same place as most of you guys. I may even be worse than most of you guys, getting stuck with this like material shit and just consumerism bullshit and just stuff, right? Even if it's stuff for preparing and for whatever, it's consumerism. All of it is loving stuff, loving just shit. It doesn't matter. It won't matter. And after saying, be kind, live a life of care, compassion, and contribution, give to others. And I say that, and I also say, a hand that's open to give is open to receive, right? If you are blessing others, you are more likely to be blessed. That is just the way shit works. And I also say, make sure that you practice violence because good people skilled in violence is the only thing that can overcome evil. And Rich, that's a shout out to Rich over there. Um, that Glock 40, that problem solver. That's my culture. Um, yeah, sorry. So, I always say become skilled in violence. Being skilled in violence is quite possibly the most important thing that from a self-preservation standpoint what you could do. Now, these are different like categories, right? Be kind. That's how you act, right? That's your manners, your mannerisms, your the way you carry yourself, your you know just who you are, right? Be kind. Um, live a life of care, contribution, and compassion. Be compassionate. Care about other people instead of doing what we're programmed to do and rush to judgment and just jump into, judging somebody or something or a situation. Come from curiosity. So I always say, don't get furious, get curious, right? Don't just get mad. If a car cuts in front of you, the first thing you do is like, beep, WTF, like, bro, what the hell? Why not just be like, wow, I wonder what happened. I hope they're okay. I wonder if a hot coffee spilled on their lap or they're just a fucking idiot, which could be the case too. But just come from a place of curiosity, not judgment, right? It is not our job to judge. And although being skilled in violence is very important, from like with discipline, right? Like this is not, I don't want people to just run around being like, I'm skilled in violence, right? Like being skilled in violence is a tool that you keep in your tool belt that you pray to God that you never have to use, but are prepared and ready to use it if needed. And if you never practice using that tool, then in that moment that you may need it, you're going to be pretty upset that you didn't hit the mat, that you didn't start working on your physical fitness, that you didn't, you know, practice hitting a silhouette at 100 yards with the Glock. I'm just saying, get rid of those big, uh, excess big dot sights. Um, I'm just teasing, but um, becoming highly skilled in violence. Good people skilled in violence is the thing that can combat evil. Um, give food to your enemy. See, I love y'all, man. This has got to be the best fucking community anywhere. Give food to your enemy if your enemy is hungry. And I think I heard that somewhere before. Interesting. Um, so then, after become highly skilled in violence, obviously being disciplined, only using it in moments of self-preservation, be safe, and be as dangerous as you possibly fucking can be. That is like the ultimate. I don't know, it's who I strive to be. I want to be kind. I want to live a life of care, compassion, contribution. I want to contribute to others. I want to give to others. I I want to care so little about stuff, shit, money, and whatever. I want to be able to give to others, be blessed to the point that I can bless others more. And I think the key to achieving that is blessing others, but um, and being highly skilled in violence. That's something that all of us can practice. There was a guy that I'm going to have on the show. He is not like a super duper high speed crazy dude. Like he wasn't like, uh, on SEAL Team 6 or anything, but he's a pretty high speed dude. And he took a course. I don't want to say too much about, you know, who he is because I'm going to have him on. Um, we be blowing. How you gonna push people away from my channel, man? Come on, bro. We live. Gerchat, when do you get released? See, but even voting red, man, even voting red, the evil exists in all parties. Yes, violence equals protection, right? Like just because you have something doesn't mean you need to necessarily use it, right? Like this is gonna sound crazy. I use a gun every single day. I use a firearm every single day, typically for 16 to 18 hours a day. And then for the 4, maybe 5, maybe 6, depending, usually 3 or 4, but for the short amount of time that I sleep, I usually take my gun off me. But I use a gun every single day. That doesn't mean that I actually discharge a firearm. I carry a gun every day, all day, even in my home right now. I'm carrying. And I would encourage others that are, responsible and all that, um, carry a gun in your home, guns and buns. There's so many videos that I have seen where people that own arsenals have had their door kicked in by armed individuals, and they got to get in an entangled gunfight, hand to hand fight with a firearm involved. And if they were armed, they would have at least had a chance. There was a oh, this is sad. There was a girl and my intention is not to be all dark and dreary and all that shit. It's just to talk about real shit. All right. Tonight we're talking about real shit. Um, there was a girl, a woman, who was a mother, and she had a husband. The husband became abusive, so she divorced him. And because the abuse was documented, um, he had caught some charges. And when he caught some charges, they put a protection order against him. Like he could not go bed holster. I should just keep it in my pants, but I find it challenging to keep it in my pants. Um, he had caught some charges, and he had a protection order against him, what some people in some states call a restraining order. In Virginia, it's different. Sorry, y'all, got to juice up. This is for the juice. Um, so there was an order of protection or stay of protection or whatever, which means he is not allowed to get within X amount of yards of her home, her job, any property that she owns, including her vehicle, blah, 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 right? And the guy couldn't get access to a firearm. She was not a gun owner. She was not prepared. She was not skilled in violence. And God bless her soul. God rest her soul. Um, the guy one day was like, "That's it. I'm done." Left his home with his ankle monitor on. So the dude was locked up. was put on house arrest and left his residence with an ankle monitor on, went to her home, knocked on the door. She opened up the door, and I can't remember why. Crump, if you're still here, you could remind me why she opened the door. Um, but she opened up the door and she was like, "Oh my God, it's my ex-husband who is not allowed to be here, who is not supposed to be here, who is dangerous, who has abused me in the past, and he is right in front of me with nothing standing in between us, with no firearm, not skilled in violence, not skilled in protecting yourself." And so what happens? He walks in, and she kind of apparently what happened was she stepped back, walked backwards into the home, saying, "Get out, get away. I'm going to call the police. You're not allowed to be here." And he walked up to her, put his hands on her head, gave her a kiss, and pulled out a hammer and beat her to death in her home in front of her children. This is where I live. Well, not exactly, a little further away from where I live, but it's where Crumps live, where where Crump lives. If she had the ability, and for whatever reason, maybe her party doesn't like guns, maybe her, but if she was able to have a little bit of an investment in self-preservation, a little bit of a time investment in self-preservation, a little bit of time behind the gun, and a split second of just, "What's up, brother? Where's your wedding rings?" Hold on. Oh, this has actually come up before. We'll talk about this too. Where's your wedding ring at, buddy? You all right? Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Hold up. Damn, now everybody's like, "Oh shit, we gotta hear about this. Why is Dark not rocking a wedding ring?" So, if she had the ability to just gain 2 seconds, she could have stopped it from happening. Or if she had other methods of self-preservation, like cameras, like not opening the door to a I mean, I don't know. There was a reason that she opened the door, and I can't recall right now, and I feel terribly. I don't want to speak ill of the dead. And she actually fought in the hospital. She lived for like at least another day or two, and then she finally succumbed to her injuries and passed away. Yeah, normal and lib shitties or cities. Yeah. Yeah, and there is the very top of Virginia is straight blue, straight, just different, very different. I'm sorry, House Cat. Come to Alabama. We love guns, and everybody can suck it if they don't like it. Honestly, 3 layers or more to access your space. Yeah, absolutely. Like there has to be levels of protection to even like keep that from like if you don't have cameras, security, and physical security. If you cannot stop any person of any size or any small group, like you have to be able to, like right now, I am, and it's not about me, I'm just sharing this just to, share information. Right now, I am in like my house clothes, right? I am in a t shirt, got that JSC Supply t shirt, just saying. Um, JSC Supply shirt and sweatpants and UGG slippers. So, Thirsty Colt, if you're in here, yes, I am literally rocking UGG slippers. Okay, sue me. All right. Um, I used to live in a very Yankee city like area, but they're very comfortable. I will say that. Anyway, um, right now. with a moment's notice, a split second, I need to be able to get at least a small group of people away to end a situation or fight my way to a larger, you know, the loadout, whether that be just a shotgun or a rifle or armor and a rifle or anything else that I may need to throw together real quick. Um, and that's why like my standard is 30 rounds or more and always a knife and always the hot sauce. And I know a lot of people give him shit, but the dude from ASP, the active self protection, he's got a kind of a good outlook on it. He says, like, what do you use between a harsh word and a gun, right? Like, you can say, like, back the fuck up, like, get the fuck away from me, whatever, but you can't just go straight to a gun. And there's been several situations where I had gotten into a fist fight while carrying a firearm. And I hear people when I talk to people about it afterwards, they're like, "Oh, I would have shot him." Like for a fist fight, like you realize that it's like I don't know. People drive me crazy. Actually, at a gun store that I worked at, the situation that I referenced earlier, where I had to pull a Glock 23 out on this young gentleman. He wasn't a gentleman; he was a dirtbag, but I had to pull uh, my firearm on a guy that drew a knife on me and was rushing me. And the thing that probably had me shook the most is that he wasn't like brandishing it. He tucked it behind his forearm like this. And I just happened like I'm the weirdo that looks at everything. Front kick is the shit. Front butt. Um, I'm not sure to stop until someone comments on two of We'd Be Blowing videos. Yeah, I don't know, brother. I think we maybe focus on other things right now. But we still love you. Gerchop. I couldn't even find the channel, bro. Ooh, front kick to the face balls for the win. Face balls. I'm black in 5 to 15 hot, hot, hot minutes, but that's just me. Frog stickers. I've let dumbasses get away with physical violence. My look and verbal command was enough. Yeah, excellent question. So I'll address this too in a sec. So, what was I saying? I was saying something else. Sorry, I get totally sidetracked because I want to be able to also like talk with you guys too. Um, three ends. It's we be blowing with three ends. But if you click away from this and go watch that, you could miss something important, right? Um, I think there's a couple different ways to look at this, right? It's kind of like this. So when I started carrying a gun, I looked at it like this. Bought a handgun, and I had said, okay, if I'm going to carry a handgun, then I should get a gun belt, right? Should get a holster and a gun belt. Um, if I'm going to carry a handgun in a holster with a gun belt, then I should carry an extra magazine. Not just because I may need to, dump, 100 rounds or whatever. No, your primary mag may shit the bed and you may need to, do an administrative reload at best, or a totally catastrophic failure, dump the magazine and all the bullets fall down on the ground, one by one. And luckily, by the grace of God, you had a secondary magazine to throw in there and get right back in the fight if you need to. So if you're going to carry a gun and you're going to carry a holster and you're going to carry a gun belt, then you should carry an extra magazine. And this is my logic. I am not bestowing this upon you, so bear with me. Um, I'm gonna put a PP in every room. PPP. So then I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna carry a gun with a holster and a gun belt and a magazine carrier with an extra magazine, then I should carry a knife, right? Because I always carried a knife, even as a kid. I always carried a knife, and that's like more so for like the utilitarian purpose of it, but also obviously a knife can be a formidable defense weapon as well. And then I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna carry a gun and a holster and a gun belt and a magazine carrier and a secondary magazine and a knife, then I'm gonna carry the hot sauce too. So I carry the hot sauce. I got the Palm OC spray, right? And legal in everywhere in the United States except Washington D.C. I learned that. So it's kind of like if I'm gonna carry a gun, then I should just do it all. Like if you're gonna do it, just do it, right? Then I'm like, if I'm gonna do all this, then I'm gonna carry a long gun in the car, right? Well, if I'm gonna carry a long gun in the car, then I should carry reloads in the car. So if I'm gonna carry, I got a magazine wallet that well, it's I've shown it on stream before. If you want me to share it, I'd be happy to. So if I'm also gonna carry a long gun in the car and extra magazines in the car, I should carry armor in the car. If I'm gonna carry all that, then I should have the long gun suppressed, right? I guess I looked at it as I want to be able to have to not be paranoid, to not be fearful, but to have anything on me in less in something that I could employ in less than 2 seconds to get out of any potential fatal or something that could end in grievously bodily injury, grievous bodily injury, um, and be able to employ it in 2 seconds or less. And then it's kind of like, okay, well, what if it's just one person? No problem. What if it's a small group of people? No problem. What if it's a dude with an AR that's got armor on? What if it's a small group of dudes with ARs that got armor on? What if it, like you never know. There's no way to truly know what situation you may be facing, so it's best to prepare for the worst. So then I'm carrying, right? I'm carrying a gun, holster, gun belt, mag carrier, magazine, knife, hot sauce, and then of course all the shit that's in the car. And sometimes I'll carry a rifle suppressed. Sometimes I'll carry a sub gun suppressed. It'll be the Scorpion. It'll be the whatever. It'll be, we can talk about that later too if you want. But then I'm like, okay, so I carry when I leave the home. Okay. But I was only carrying when I left the home for substantial amounts of time. If I went out to check the mail, I didn't carry a gun. If I went out to just, you know, go out, walk down the street or whatever, walk to my car, I didn't carry a gun. If I went out to, whatever on a quick walk, I didn't carry a gun. All of that changed when I realized that first I ended up in a couple very odd, creepy situations that I was like, okay, that was nothing or probably nothing, but it could have turned into a terrible situation if X, Y, and Z. And being a victim a few times, I was like, I'm never going to be a victim again. And if somebody does have the courage, God bless you if you do, to come inside of my home, I'm going to make sure that I have a minimum of 31 rounds to throw at your ass so quick that you would just likely retreat. Um, or if it's just a simple, stupid situation, then hit it with the hot sauce, like back up. Uh, the knife, I mean, there's a lot of other ways to look at the knife, right? Like if you end up in an entangled fight, if you have a knife that you can employ with one hand, which is important, um, you know, it could be used to. It's the GTFOM weapon. It's the get the flock off me weapon. Um, that's when you're like close, like you can smell what they had for breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. Um, and that's a bad day if you got to use your blade, right? Um, so the other aspect is like, okay, so if I'm only carrying a gun and an extra magazine and all whatever, all that shit. I know it's annoying when I repeat myself like that, so sorry. Um, If I'm only carrying when I say go to work for 8 or 10 hours, and then I come home and then I take my gun off of my person, put it in a safe, close that bitch, and walk away from it. So I have a gun room. So this room is my gun room. Like almost all of my guns are in it, but then I have a gun in other places. But having a child, I have to find this balance of how do I store them safely and keep them completely locked away from anyone else, like to where they would have to work for hours and hours and hours to get into something, to get it, but that I can get to in 2 seconds. That is a challenging balance. So I found solutions to that, and I found that the safes that either use your thumbprint or a quick code or a key, where it has the hydraulic springs on it, where you can just grab it, and get it, and go real quick. Those work really well. The Hornady safe is excellent too. Um, you need to be able to look your friend in the eye and say, "Uh oh, I smell funk." Oh, hold on. Oh, where'd you go? Oh. Oh, I smell funk. Miami, pop the trunk. Pop the trunk and let alright. Yeah, I'll let you say that. I don't wanna get destroyed by, the viewers. Um, so I carry for 8, 10 hours, right? I put my gun on me before I leave for work, and then I go to work and I carry for 8, 10, 12 hours, whatever. Then I come back home, I take my gun off, and then, I'm sitting on the couch, right? If I'm sitting on the couch, it may take me several seconds, especially becoming an old fart, to get up, go to the gun, get it, and be ready at whatever door or window, whatever. So I'm like, why am I not carrying on me? So Martin Kaminsky, DLD, question on why you conceal carry in your own house. Isn't that uncomfortable? Don't you have enough time to get to a gun? So why carry in the house? There's no guarantee that you'll have that amount of time. I do set my life up to where I will likely be given at least a few seconds notice if something happens, right? Cameras, got cameras. If I see something on camera, boom. If that gives me an extra 3 seconds, I'm gravy. So if I see something on camera, gives me 3 seconds. Let's say someone starts kicking in the door. Maybe that gives me another 2 to 5 seconds. Once they breach, could I effectively, in that 8 seconds, get my family to a safe place, arm my wife, have myself be armed, and be able to tackle the situation with, like, you don't know. So I may have enough time to get to a gun. If I am that blessed and have enough time to get to a gun that's larger than what I carry on me every day, then yeah, it's going to be a bad day for somebody. They're going to have a Serbu shorty up that ass. Um, so, I mean, I just don't want to take the chance of possibly being a victim again. I've been a victim again. I've been a victim, and I will not be a victim again, ever. Period. And I'll sacrifice anything to make sure that my family is safe. Anything. Sorry. I know we're getting on some deep shit now. So, fire extinguishers. Most homes don't have fire extinguishers, right? This is the same thing we're talking about. Like, people are like, "Oh, I'm ready for the boog. I got an AR, a plate carrier, and some ammo." It's like, okay, do you have water? Do you have food? Do you have lock picking skills? Do you have, can you build or repair firearms? Can you, synthesize explosives? Can you, plant edible plants? Can you, treat soil? Can you, for like, there's so much more to this than, what's typically glorified. We generally glorify all this shit that's like, Not important. We glorify the the last line of defense. The last line of defense is the weapon. But nobody's like, "Oh, bro, you need to check out my water setup. You need to check out my food setup. You need to check out my homestead." Some people do. Some people do. But the focus is the weapons. And I'm guilty of that too. I fall into that too. I mean, we just talked about all the weapons, right? But that those are specific tools for specific situations that, you know, I don't know. I don't know if any of that makes sense. And I'm sorry guys. Can you freaking navigate? Yeah, absolutely. I can talk mad shit. Yes, you can. Hey, somebody, one of the mods, crush this webcams, dude. Girls and boys. Ban them. Ban them. Hey, webcamschat.com, hot girls and boys video chat. You're welcome to come in here and learn life-saving techniques that could keep you from spamming prawn on the internet. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? Care about your people, man. Care about your neighbors. So I guess to answer, I don't know if I'll have time. I don't know if I'll have time to reach a weapon, and I don't want to leave that up to possibilities, right? Um, I'd rather be certain that I have access to employ a firearm in 2 seconds or less. And that's the other thing. You carry a firearm. Do you work on your draw? Do you work on your draw? Do you work on your reload? And like y'all. Let me tell you. What's up, Farmer James? Um, I am not like a high speed dude. I am not like I guess officially like trained. And I'm not saying like, oh, I have a sub 2 second, draw the first shot and da da da. I'm just saying that it's something that we all should strive for. Um, Hold on, let me back up. I saw something good. Oh, where'd you go? I saw it. I'm gonna look into sourcing multiple tech. Damn. I'm gonna look into sourcing multiple taxidermy dogs that I will stuff with low velocity sensitive tannerite in case the aft boys ever show up to raid my place. Yep. I was gonna jokingly say that that's an excellent idea, but I'm gonna joke and say, Logan, that is an excellent idea. Some would even say take a plate carrier and use a binary for a reactive vest. Just rush them. Bit too broad a concept. Edible food and synthesizing stuff. What is this? Ireland circa 1972? All of it goes hand in hand, funny enough. Duke, I'm high speed when we be blown. Okay, with three N's. Um, so it's a couple things. Every single aspect of this has to do with self-preservation, right? Regardless of what the circumstances are, because the government controls our water, the government controls our food, the government controls our structure, like our homes. They ultimately have like we don't truly own shit. Um, we're not truly free when it comes to you know, your shelter, whatever. Um, and security. We have the ability currently to security. We have the ability to build, own, and operate firearms. For how long? I don't know. I don't know. Fire extinguisher, smoke screen. But a lot of people say that firearms are the ultimate equalizer. And I do believe that to be true in a sense, but the true equalizer, this is going to sound bad. The true equalizer of one man versus large parties of deadly individuals or large mm, explosives evens the playing field. Energetics even the playing field. I'm not encouraging anyone to do anything like that other than like some of the tinkering that like we've done here with like fireworks and things like that. And plus, if you do, because explosives are legal federally, all states have different laws, rules, regulations, restrictions, and sanctions around all that shit. So if you do, you know, make fireworks or synthesize energetics, make sure that you're doing it lawfully, make sure that you're, and I'm not giving advice at all. I'm just talking to a computer. Um, one, no, I won't say it like that. Um, I make sure that I'm following all the, restrictions in place, and I make sure that I do not store or transport explosives because that would require an FEL, which is a federal explosives license, which um, some people have. So, I mean, maybe I have one. You never know. Crack houses build a cage behind the door. They kick in the door and are rushing into a metal cage. Oops. Yeah. Dude, and there's so many like small stupid things you can do for security around the house. Like that little, flat piece of metal that you can bolt into the ground in front of the door, and then you just slide that piece of steel. Or, I mean, bro, some of the things you can do to reinforce your doors are nuts. Um, I will say that I have one very large glass door that you know no matter what, you're getting a surprise. If you come up in here, you're getting a surprise. Who's going to win in the end? Who knows? But I'd like to stack the odds in my favor as much as possible. Night stop. Don't know what you mean by that. Saint Bernard with battle armor. There you go. Saint Bernard with reactive armor. Ah, was that one man can make a difference? Michael Knight, probably. Michael Jordan Jackson. Longer screws made from high quality steel goes a long way. Yeah. So, and locks. Yeah. So deck screws, right? The large galvanized deck screws, taking out the little shitter screws that are in your door, taking those out and reinforcing them with the long galvanized deck screws. Deck. I got the biggest deck in the neighborhood. All of my neighbors have seen my deck. It's a beautiful deck. Um, so that works. But most of it is like awareness, right? Like cameras, watching your cameras. I do have a little bit of a problem with the whole AI thing, watching your house. Man, this stream went from like one thing to another. Like it went crazy. I apologize, guys. It's interesting, but I'm just babbling. Um, but I do feel like these are all things that we should discuss. I've got a 14-foot long deck. Jay Duffy may have the longest deck in the chat, guys. Um, I want to build my own deck. I want to build the biggest deck like ever. I wonder what color it should be. Moats with lasers on my great whites. Ah, beautiful. See, you get it. Um, Yeah, so I forgot what that other piece of steel thing is. Um, I'll have to get the name of it and get back to you guys. But essentially, it's you bolt into the floor, so it completely like destroys your floor. So if you're like renting or something, it's not ideal. But basically, you put this, you bolt this flat piece of steel in there, and then you when you're closing and locking up your door for the night, you slide, I think it's called like the night guard or something like that, or the door guard, night guard, something like that. And you slide this piece of steel that wedges in between the door and what you've bolted into the floor. And it's like impossible to knock down, especially if you've reinforced your door. And I'm not saying against like alphabet boys or anything, right? I'm just saying against like, you know, anyone that's intruding on your home that should not be, that could be a danger for you and your familia. Rick Marshall, what's up? Vanessa Kitty, what's up? I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you earlier. Man Against the Masses, what up? I missed something earlier. Hold on. Um, Deck looks totally larger now. My dad helped me build this deck. My front porch is 14 feet if decking and railings. There's a neat trick you can do with a metal fork and spoon to make an improvised and effective anti-door opening device. The fork tines tines get bent to grab into the door latch. Spoon becomes a lever. Interesting. I'd like to see that employed to kind of see what that looks like. I paint AR-15s on my deck and park my bicycle on it. I'll tell you what, I have painted lots of things on my deck. Reactive armor. So reactive armor is a joke. It is a total joke that is bad, bad, bad. Do not take anything I say as advice. As a matter of fact, everything I say on this channel is all comedy and satire. So, reactive armor is the idea that if you were going into a situation where the joke is if an individual were to go in a situation where they did not care if they were going to remain on this world or not, that they would take an armor plate carrier, remove the armor, and then fill it with like a binary explosive. Because if they were to get into a firefight, when they get hit, kaboom. Terrible idea. Don't do it. Dangerous, bad, illegal, and all that stuff. It's just a joke. That's so when you hear people say reactive armor, that's what they're talking about. I tried to kick in a door like in the movies and I fucked up my ankle. Yeah, it's not as easy. You can get very good at kicking indoors. Not that that's something that anybody should be skilled at, but um, there's like a sweet spot. Dark, do you have bike Panzerfaust mounted to it? I don't. Believe it or not, I do not. I don't own a bike. Ooh, turn on gas stove unlit. Yeet. If I was Ralph, I'd say oof, oof. It's 9:16 p.m. Why are all these kids running around screaming around my apartment? Your apartment? Is that we still putting that charade up? Shoulder round the back to the door. Oh, sure. Yeah, shoulder. Yeah. Um, if you kick with your heel right under to the right of the doorknob, that fixture, and you kick up and through, I don't want this to sound like advice again. Um, if one were to, and there's probably a bunch of YouTube videos on it, honestly. If you were to kick that sweet spot and kick like up and through, um, I've heard that that's most effective. Slide spoon between fork tines. I guess that's what the little pokey things are called. Um, bend the end of fork tines to grab into latch. When someone tries to open it, one end of spoon is pushed by door. Other end levers against the wall. I would need Logan, I honestly, I'd be down to, like, bring you on stream and have you, like, show me what you're talking about with your spoony, forky, tricky thing. I am still going. I'm like the Energizer Darky. Ooh, Darky's not a good word to you get what I'm saying. And we are completely I really hate that YouTube does this to me. Like, we were like, what, 10 minutes in and they already hit the video? Like, dude, why are you doing this? Now I'm seeing that after live streams, like they'll demonetize it during the time that I'm streaming, and then like a day or two later, they'll remonetize it. It's like, bro, you ran ads the whole time. YouTube got money, but you didn't push my video out there. You didn't put it in recommended video feeds and, you know, like the autoplay and blah blah blah. And you took money and didn't give any to me. And the money shit I don't care as much about. It's more so like the 16 cents that I would have gotten from the ads is nothing and stupid compared to the ability to have my video go into recommended videos and, you know, all the shit that you guys see, like the watch this video next. YouTube is asshole. Break a window. Oh, I can't read that. Toss in a cocktail. K bar. Yeah, K bars are dope. Share the shekels. Yeah, it's so funny because like the other day we got hit early before we even went live. It was probably chat because they do that. They look at what chat is saying and then they're like, "Ooh, this is a naughty community." So let me strike out the um, content creator. I could probably come on tomorrow or whenever you're streaming next. Need to prepare a device. Ooh, that sounds bad. To show first before I come on. Yeah, we can. I think. Hold on. It's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Actually, this Thursday, the day after tomorrow, we could do 9:30. Just email me if I have any mods in here. If you could drop my email in there, I could drop my email. Hold on. Like watching Goodwill thrifting hauls. Hey, that's honestly get it how you live, right? What's up, love? Hey, Vash. You live on the East Coast or West Coast? Awesome, Logan. Thank you. I would be honored to have you on. I actually got a few really dope guests coming up for the future, so I'm excited about that. Um, but I'm not going to share with you yet. I'm actually going to be on another show, likely. I'm just scheduling right now. Only if YouTube's give a list of what not to say. Yeah, right. It's so the way that they do this is like so. I'll give an example. Before it was like you can't assemble or modify firearms um, in a video. You can't, do X, Y, and Z specifically. It'll be demonetized. It'll be you'll get a strike and blah 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 blah. Then oh yes, I got one more. Then they went to um, firearm content will be demonetized. Firearm content, anything about firearms at all. Perfect is a perfect example. I did my video on how to do a very cheap, simple, battle worn paint job. It's something that's very popular. That the list of what you can say would be shorter. Tara Triplet, what's up? I haven't seen you in a minute. You been lurking? You been around or you just pop back in? Um, so, something like painting uh, Mr. Paul Morady. Um, I wanted to paint Apollo Morady, and it was for the giveaway. We give away to technically three 80 percenters. And I was like, should I do just give away the black frames, or should I do like battle worn paint jobs on them to make it more special, to make it more cool and exciting? And y'all were like, yeah, hell yeah, paint them like that. That's awesome. So I did. And I was like, what a great opportunity to film a video of me painting something that is totally wholesome, that would never get, shut down by the YouTubes. Um, in TX long ago, they were tearing the front of house off porch with APCs to get crackheads. Dang. 845 subs plus one since the start of your show. You are the rainmaker, DLD. Hell yeah, man. Um, so, um, sorry, I got sidetracked. So, did a video of how to do a cheap but very effective battle worn paint job on a P80. Now, you can do this on anything. You can do it like I've done it on ARs, where you just take the lower, the upper, the handguard, do those, keep everything else black, super simple. You can do the stock if you want. That way you have like some dope contrast, right? It keeps it simple. You just have to do the upper, the lower, the handguard, maybe the stock if you want to, but it gives it like some flavor. It makes it yours. And Battle Worn is dope. So I did an OD green battle worn, then I did a, stainless gray battle worn, and in the video, I was just doing the, OD green. And the moment that I uploaded it, it got demonetized. And I hate saying that word, but it got the yellow dollar sign. And I'm like, dude, you're gonna keep people from seeing this information, which gives them the ability to go out and paint their own shit, whatever. Like, yeah, that's not like life or death, okay? But you are still withholding information from the general public that could benefit them. So instead, they send a P80 or lower or magazines or whatever the hell out to get Cerakoted by someone for several $100s. And I'm like, dude, you can do this like in your backyard. Like you can it's so simple. And you can kind of use it like a template. Once you have one, you can, use that like a template to do others, right? That's how I did, I did the white one, basically sanding it to a picture of one that I saw that I was like, oh, that's dope. I want mine to look like that. So I did the white battle worn first. And then I did a blue battle worn, because dilders, dilder builders. And then I did the OD green battle worn. Then I did the stainless gray battle worn and demonized. Yes, that's exactly right. Doc had a great show last night. The first few minutes were like watching Johnny Carson. Doc has a cool sense of humor. Yeah, he's a cool ass dude, man. He's uh he's one of us for sure. Um I emailed you a couple photos of my paint job. Oh, that's what's up, man. That's dope. Glockish. What's the Glockish? What did I miss? Hold on, let me pull this up. I usually don't do this, but yo, watching your streams. Found you from CRS. Thanks for keeping me entertained from time to time and being pro self defense into a hell yeah, man. Oh, kept rattling about it the other day. Nice, man. Just a little at home paint job right there. Nice with the digi. Good job. You should submit it to Ralph to roast your build. No, you did a good job. And that's the beautiful thing about this, man. That's how you know, like, we're still in a world with rule of law when we care about what our guns look like. That's dope. You did a good job, man. Nice torch on that. Is that a that's a Surefire, right? Yeah. I think that switch looks like a Surefire. Either way, it's dope. You did a good job. Yeah, and dude, I love the battle worn paint jobs. It's the coolest thing about it is like when you were a kid. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was this like way of painting that like you paint like all these rainbow colors, multicolors, neon colors on a sheet of paper, right? You let it dry. Once it dries, you come back like the next day or two later, and then you paint black all over it. And then once that dries, you get like a toothpick or like whatever they gave you, and you scrape the paint off of it, and you're effectively drawing in the rainbow colors, right? A battle worn paint job is exactly like that. So you essentially take your item. Of course, if you really want to go ham and super professional, then number one, you gotta clean it and completely degrease it. Like that's super important. Um, if all grease and oils are not removed from the frame, whatever you're painting, the paint is not going to adhere like it should. So once it is completely clean and free of oils, oh, and some like solvents and shit actually like leave residue behind. So what I found works best is whatever I am painting, I literally wash it in the sink with Dawn soap. So I wash it in the sink with Dawn soap, rinse it off like crazy to make sure that all the Dawn is removed from it. Then when I bring it out, I literally use like kebab sticks, like straight up to paint, and I stick it in the ground, and then stick it in something in the unit, and then I just go from there. So the first thing you do is the base coat. So we'll use the stainless gray for an example. It's got a stainless steel looking kind of silvery, really kind of a silver color. Then once that is completely cured onto the frame, not just dried, right? Not just dry to the touch, cured onto the frame. Like the paint has gone through a chemical process of curing onto the frame. You have good adhesion, then you can move on to the next step. Then you hose it down and go watch the video. It's actually a pretty short video, I think. Um, then holding it, because you kind of gotta hold it, um, you hose it down with black, and then you have right there with you a solution of water and rubbing alcohol, like 60% water, 40% rubbing alcohol, with a rag, towel, old shirt, paper towels, whatever. Paper towels do get fibers all over what you're painting. Ask me how I know. It's total pain. I was still picking fibers out of those P80s before, yeah. So when you hose it down with black in like little sections, you do sections at a time, hose it down with black, and then take the solution with like a rag or whatever with the water and alcohol, like the isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol solution, and you wipe. And what it does is it removes the black paint from the flats, and then it keeps the black paint in all the crevices, and it also darkens the color. Okay. So it already starts at that point to have that battle worn kind of look. Then you do the next section, right? Hose it down. I got hose. And then get the solution, wipe it down again. Same thing. And do that all over 360, everything. Now, it is going to look like you just have a really dirty frame that appears to be a color that you can't really recognize anymore. And that is okay. The paint also dries super quick because you're thinning it out, you're hitting it with alcohol, it's adhering to paint as opposed to polymer, so it does pretty well. Um, then when that's dried, I recommend giving it at least 24 hours. Then you bring it to sanding. Then when you sand it, You're literally just taking, like, I like to use the 800 grit sandpaper. You're just touching up little areas here and there to get the actual finish that you want, right? The points on the frame or whatever you're doing that would have the most wear are the ones that you want to hit because that makes it look most authentic. And it's the same concept as removing the black paint on those old pictures we used to do in school when we were kids before our world fell apart. Dark, do you know any hand custom engravers? I don't. I know that Ford's Custom Gun Refinishing in Florida, which they do an excellent job with gun refinishing, man. Like they've done a lot of my stuff. Um, they've done a bunch of Glock slides. They did a Chrome AK for me. Yes, I have a Chrome AK. Use blue shop towels. Yes, I should have taken your advice on that. I did not. Um, Duke old boxers or undershirts. Yeah, definitely should have used shirts. No steel wool for fine work. So you can, but what I usually recommend is if you're using 800 grit, it gets a really good like it's at like the perfect kind of texture for getting like the chalky paint off, and then the Scotch Brite green pads, the that's too far away. You know the sponges, the Scotch Brite sponges, the green stuff that's on one side, the scratchy side, and then the other side is yellow. So they sell these green like swatches of just the green part. Those work really well. They also sell actual sanding materials like at Home Depot that are like that, but they're red and they come in different grit, uh, you know, levels as well. Um, Not the older Woodland ERDL camo, which I do actually like, but I'm talking about Woodland Marpat, a digital woodland pattern. Okay. Could you just paint one layer of color and one of another color and just run the gun and get natural battle worn? Um, kind of, but what's going to happen is the paints are going to kind of like fuse together and it won't be as dramatic, but yes, and it may not look the same. And in the areas that get wear, because the longer the two paints are on there together, they'll kind of fuse together. So the areas that are going to be getting like a lot of contact, you'll probably lose both both paints will probably chip off. So it may not be effective unless you have like, let's say, a black frame or whatever it is, and then the black frame is what you want to show. Because one thing that I toyed with was the idea of okay, if I want a battle worn color, then why am I doing two? Uh, two paints. Could I do a battle worn paint job with just one color? Like let's say I took um, so I did the white battle worn, right? Um, could I, in theory, take a black lower, hose it down with white, and then when that dries, just sand the white off to show the black? I think so, but I don't know what it is, if there's like a chemical reaction or if something happens. Oh, by the way, everybody, follow me on Instagram. I see my Instagram blowing up, so I figure you guys do, or people are adding me. DLD After Dark on Instagram. Um, we're also selling the PWEDC patches from Instagram. So, yeah, check us out. Um, but I don't know if it's like some type of chemical reaction that happens from, having a base coat that's cooked and cured on, and then when you hose it down with black and then wipe it down with the water with rubbing alcohol, it removes a lot of that paint. It thins it out, but it just leaves this light, thin, chalky kind of layer on it. and it's so perfect and so easy to sand off. Now what you do is you take the have you guys ever seen Unique AR's handguards? Yeah, I've heard about some of them. They're like kind of crazy. Black Rambo rocks them, right? Oh, oh. I've seen a few of them, I think. So, I think like the consistency of it is like perfect for sanding, but just like daily usage is not going to wear it away as much, but it will wear away. Like eventually it will wear away because one thing I learned through trial and error is, let's say I do a base coat, right? And we can get away from the whole painting thing if you guys want, but I enjoy talking about it. I think it's cool. Um, let's say you have a black frame, you get your base coat down, and let's say you're using Brownell's Alumahide. Great product. That needs to be cured. So for that to be cured, you either let it sit for 14 days untouched. They say you can handle it after 15 minutes. Don't do that. Um, let's say it sits for 14 days. That's stupid. So you can actually bake it at like 140. My oven doesn't go below 170, so you can bake it at 170 for like 3 hours and cure it like that. So you bake that on, okay, and then you take your black, hose it down, wipe it down, whatever, and then you sand it and all this shit. If you go back and cook the black on, then it compromises the base coat as well. So I don't cook on the second layer. I have toyed with heating it with a heat gun or even a hair dryer or whatever because like I want the paints to like cure together in a way. Um, but if you cook the black on, then what happens is the base coat becomes extremely brittle because it's being overcooked. But if you put the black on before the base coat is cured, then the battle worm becomes a mess. The colors like mix. It's a disaster. So I wouldn't recommend that. Planning on doing a Flectarn paint job on the G23. LOL. Nice. That's what's up. You should get a 40 to 9 barrel for that and change the ejector and change the magazine and just rock 9 millimeter in it all day, every day. I have a story about that too. That's another thing. Um, they're just really cool. Not much else to them. Plus, made in Idaho, so repping the home team. Nice. That's what's up. The one thing I know about engraving is I know how to do proper gold laying. Really? Nice. That's a dope freaking skill. Do you take like gold fleck, gold leaf and hammer that into the engraving? Do you need to heat it to melt the gold into place or does hammering the gold do enough? Cuz gold is soft like lead. Um so does just hammering that shit into engraving keep it in there or does it need to be like heated, like melted for it to stay? I don't know what I'm asking. I don't know if that makes sense. I want to see CZ75 so bad. So bad. You take gold wire and an auto hammer. Okay, nice. So you don't even need to heat that ish up. Dope. That's what's up. Yeah, I love unique shit like that. Like right now, we toyed with doing some community builds. We were talking about doing the gay R15, then the gay K47, then a blue glowy AR, then a blue glowy Glock, And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take one of the ARs that I have already and just make it like a blue glowy AR. So I picked up I don't think it's close here, but it's like a bright ass like not electric blue. It's like a very bright metallic royal blue Duramag AR mag. And I was like, okay, that's the first thing I'm gonna get. Then maybe I'll get some pins, then maybe I'll get, some controls, then the handguard, the upper, the lower, like I'll kind of mess with it because honestly, I was not happy with the blue battle worn. The blue battle worn just does not have enough contrast. It just looks mad dirty, which sucks because like I did a magazine for James Reeves with TFB TV in blue battle worn, and it came out like awesome. Like it was gorgeous. Took a bunch of pictures of it, sent it to him, and I was like, dude, this is for you. I even like in the bottom of the floor plate, I scratched in like DLD, Dark loves James and stuff like that, um, just to like continue the joke about me like being a stalker of his, and it looked beautiful. So I was like, I'm comfortable doing this on my Glock. I did metal work on the slide. I brought out the raw metal of the flats and the edges, and you can see the like what looks to be like weathering on the numbers, on the slide serrations, on the flats, on it just it looks cool as shit. So I was like, all right. So now that I have the Glock 17 slide, and it's an actual factory slide barrel and assembly. Um, Now I need the frame to match. So I did a blue battle worn, but the contrast is not great enough, so you can't really tell. I mean, you can when you're looking at it like directly, but if I were to take a picture of it, it does not look like blue battle worn. It looks like a black and blue, like kind of marble looking thing. It didn't come out right. So now because it darkens, so I'll give an example. If you want to do like a Deadpool red color, a lot of people get like a maroon or a Bordeaux colored spray paint. Well, what happens is once you do that dark red and then you hit the dark red with black, that shit is like deep, deep dark red. Like you almost cannot even tell that there's red in it. Got a G45, so my G hold on. So my G23 can stay 40 cal. Nice, I got you. Cock 19. Ooh, I like it. Dark, did you see the channel S2 Underground I sent you? Yes, I've been looking at a lot of his shit. It's like remarkably valuable info. It's a tube channel made by ex-military intel analysts, and they cover shit like how to hide from drones and how to use ATAC, etc. Yeah, I was impressed, man. I was impressed by the videos. It was good shit. Yeah, those factory slides, Bob. Those are no joke, man. No matter what, like you can get really good. Personally, I think Lone Wolf makes like exceptional slides for Glocks. They're probably the closest if you buy their OEM style slides. But damn, man, like nothing is smoother than just a factory ass Glock slide. It's a big difference than when you throw on like some other, some other shit that's like. But I mean, part of it is that like it's these other companies are coming out with extremely high tolerance shit that is not test fired, that is not it's just completely different. So uh, for me, like going through like all these different stages of building, it's like damn, like my shit doesn't work. Well, no, your shit needs to have work done on it to work sometimes. Or you just kind of you know take some stuff from some companies and some stuff from other companies that are higher quality that you know maybe it loosens up the tolerances a bit. Like JSD Supply, I was noticing that like, some of their slides and barrels were like just super tight and, would be prone to malfunctions in the beginning until they kind of get broken in. And I talked to Jordan about it, and he was like, "Yeah, our tolerances are way tighter than any other companies, even Glocks." And they do that on purpose. But because it had become an issue, they actually recently slightly backed out on their tolerances. So I threw the Glock 26 slide on the build I just did, the one that I did a video on, and I haven't published the video yet. It's funny because like all this shit's going on with 80 percenters, and I'm about to drop like my first, not my first, but an 80% video that's like a full build video. And it basically says like the video is like the purpose of the video is to show you that anyone can build a P80 with the tools that they give you, a razor blade, files, and sandpaper. Nothing else. And the whole idea of, oh, if you're going to build P80s, you need to go get this Dremel and this Dremel press setup and, these bits and these oils and these files and these, that's all dog shit. Don't go spend $200 on tools to crank out a, $500 gun. It's just or $600 gun, $1,000 gun, whatever you end up building. I'm just saying that like unless you're going to be cranking 80s out like on the regular, it's not worth it. Even me, somebody that's built, maybe more 80s than some others that just wanted to put one or two together. Like I still use a razor blade to cut the tabs off. I still use a Dremel. Actually, thank you to the end is near beware. He sent me a variable speed Dremel. I appreciate you, brother. Um, and I use the Dremel and a razor blade, files, and sandpaper. And then this is a way, and you'll see it on a gang of other videos. To make the tabs completely disappear, you have to get the cut as low and close to the frame as possible. And once you've removed as much of the material as you can, take a file to it, either a flat file, a box file, something like that. Save the rat tail file for like when you're cleaning up your pins, your pinholes. That's worked really well for me. Every single problem that exists in P80s can be fixed, even if you have absolutely destroyed it, as long as you did not cut it in half, unless there's a reason to cut yours in half. As long as you have not cut it in half, I could almost guarantee you that I could resuscitate it or let you know how to resuscitate it. And actually, that reminds me, I got to talk to Swamp Dog about that. Um, but any problem that comes up with an 80, you can fix. So for the tabs, you cut them super low with a razor. You can use fret snippers. You can use, whatever you want to get them off. Once they're off, get them as low as possible, then hit them with a file. A box file works really well. Maybe it's like a difference in the mass between a flat file and a box file. Get the tabs off as much as you can, then sand it, wet sand it. That works really well. Then, once it's wet sanded, it will look like you've done your job, right? But it'll be a little different color. It'll appear to be a little worn. You may see some raised and elevated areas on the tabs. So what I do is I may have one here actually. Um, I take a polishing bit on the lowest setting possible, and I literally just polish the tabs, the spots where the tabs were, and they freaking disappear, completely disappear. And then once you rehydrate the frame, and Marine Gun Builder, like I know I give him shit, I poke fun at like the words that he uses and stuff, but he's a good dude. and I literally learned to build P80s watching Marine Gun Builder. So yeah, hand drill too. I've done P80s with hand drills as well, and I will use a hand drill on my my MUP one 320 build. And with very slow, because if you're polishing at too high of a speed, you will melt the polymer. That's how I got the tabs and this channel to look like factory on this Glock 26. And now that I've done that, I'm like, well, shit. Because before I just hit it with a file, then hit it with sandpaper or wet sand, and it was like, boom, done, right? I may go back and hit. Oh, this is what I was going to say about Marine Gun Builder. So using pledge to rehydrate a frame, that works so well. Pledge, like the shit that you use to clean like wood tables, freaking church pews. I don't know what you use to clean it for, but first time quality. Yep. Um, literally, Pledge works wonders. You got scratches in your P80, a little bit of slow RPM polish, and I was about to say Pam and Pledge. Jesus, and Pledge, man, bro, that shit will look factory. Like I showed a couple of my boys this 26 lower, and they were like, "What?" They're like looking for the serial number on it. Like this was serialized. Like you bought this at a show or a store or whatever. I'm like, no, I built that. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying after doing over a dozen of them, I like finally found like a way that works for me to get the, you know, shit cleaned up. That's all. Um, but yeah, damn, we've already gone for 2 hours and 47 minutes. I guess here's what I'll say. Full wazoo. Seriously, yeah. Flying Rich, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's yeah, you gotta holler at him. But don't holler at him about that. My PP80 smells lemony fresh. I got some 2000 grit sandpaper that makes my tab marks vanish. Yes, sir. That 2000 grit, man, I couldn't even find that high grit sandpaper at my local like Home Depot and Lowe's and shit like that. Matter of fact, I got 800 at the time because that was the highest grit they had available. And I was like, damn, maybe it was supply chain issues. I don't know, but mm. Sorry, usually I mute when I hit my vape and shit, but I'm just tonight's a little more casual, y'all. If you can't tell, it's a little more casual. No, I know you're joking. I'm fucking with you. I'm just being funny. Mineral oil. Pledge, sorry, excuse me. Pledge original contains mineral oil. Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, for the longest time he was actually using mineral oil as well to rehydrate the frames because you do want it to look factory, right? Like there's just something that is so satisfying about knowing that you got mailed a chunk of plastic and you did surgery on that bitch and cut it all the fuck up, burned it up with a Dremel, punched holes in it, and that shit looks factory. You know what's dope though? Sorry, that shit looks like factory new, right? What's dope is when you can, and I'm gonna work on this because I've not perfected it. I actually started to cause, well, if I continued doing this, I would have caused problems with the 80. Um, taking a conial shaped sanding bit and using that to slightly recess the holes just like ever so slightly, like a quarter of a millimeter, to give it that like just kind of like a factory look. Um, I started to do that, and then I started to see some buildup around the outside, and it just didn't look right. And I was like, "Oh, something new. I'm uncomfortable." So I, you know, pulled that away, and I just, you know, took an X-Acto knife and just kind of scraped the polymer off the area surrounding the pinholes. But I do believe that there's a way to kind of slightly recess it like a little bit and make it look like a super clean factory hole. And I don't know if that would be good. I just want to do it. Food grade mineral oil for drilling too. Yeah, that's perfect cutting oil. Yeah. AutoZone bodywork section for high grit sandpaper. Ah, okay, okay. Hit me with the info. I like it. Walmart auto section has a multi grit pack with 15 hundo, 2000, 25 hundo. Nice. See, you guys know the tricks, man. This is why having a community like this is just so powerful, dude. Olive oil too. Yep. I've used olive oil. I've used coconut oil. I've used lube. I'm just kidding. Aegis lube, that would work. Actually, here's the thing to do. So not everybody wants to go through and like, you know, completely hand polish every single internal component of, their parts that they get. Because when we get these new parts to install in 80 percenters, we assume that they're from the factory, so they must be clean, they must be brand new. While watching some other videos, including Marine Gun Builders, he polishes them and he shows you how much dirt and grime and nasty shit that he gets off of it. And I'm just like, dang, like, are my factory new parts like that dirty? So as opposed to hand polishing everything, um, I took Aegis solvent and Aegis lube, and I literally cleaned aggressively every single component, every part, every spring, everything, completely cleaned it all up with solvent, let it air dry out completely, and then treat it with the Aegis lube, wipe off the excess. And oh, great news, code DARK is active at Aegis and can save you 15%. I get nothing for it. I don't get anything at all for it. But it's dope to be able to save people in my community. I'm sorry, in the community. I don't want it to sound like a cult leader. Um, it's dope to see, like, that I can help save people money on shit that they're probably going to buy anyway. So, buy Bondo. Good community shares info. Yep. The new parts are filthy, aren't they? They are, dude. I was blown away. I was like, how is this coming to me like this? Then I was like, oh, well, it's being machined and it's getting all grimed up and dirty as hell. And you can't see, like, you can't tell when you first take it out of the bag and you're like, damn, brand new parts. It's not like, grabbing a t-shirt. Like, I don't know. It's yeah. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent, but I appreciate the good advice. I will pick up some of that super duper high grit shit. I want to remind you guys, it is vital. It is so important that all of you remember that on December the 18th, we will be showing up in force to the gun show in Oaks, Pennsylvania. This is the annual meet and greet. So JSC Supply is sponsoring the whole thing. Um, they have invited myself, John Crump, Flying Rich, Shooting Gallery New England, Pewtang, P80 Ralph is going to be there. um, there's a shirt that shows everyone's names on it. But like 6 of your like favorite creators, hopefully, are gonna be there, and I'm hoping for a good turnout. I'm excited about it, and you know, I'm a little, I guess, unhappy that I've only received one death threat. I figured I would get way more, but hey, I guess that just means I haven't made it yet. All right, let's see what y'all are saying. The copper locking grease that comes in slash on a new a new Glock slide rails is literally just copper anti-seize grease. They use it because it helps hone the parts to fit better slash smoother. Interesting. Bob will be there. What part of PA is Oaks in? I actually literally have no idea. Yeah, I literally don't know. I know Oaks, Pennsylvania gun show on the 18th is where I will be in person, meeting and greeting and feeding. And I'm just kidding. I won't be feeding anyone, but meeting and greeting, just seeing people. This is going to be a big deal for JSD. There will be something announced that is not a new product. Saving money is the power of the DLD dark side. That is definitely my superpower. So, Luigi, next time we're in a stream with PD Ralph, you can say that Dark's superpower is saving money and being a poor. I am, I wouldn't say I'm a poor, but I have the mindset of a poor. I just want to keep resources. Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. Okay. Can't make the meat. Buy. I'll buy a tea. Nice. Which actually brings up the next topic. Let me just do this real quick. So let's say I will screen share this for you. So just so y'all know, we actually, funny enough, are going to be opening another store because of the time of year. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Because the time of year, we're opening up another store. So we'll have three, technically four active stores. Um, I would appreciate if you guys did not purchase from the first one because we like to close it down. Um, it's just actually a little bit more difficult than we anticipated because the idea was like, okay, we're gonna create a store of the month, which is so much fucking work. Like, you guys got to know, like, we're probably netting like $100 a month from this, and then a big portion of that goes to Sport Brand for designing all this shit, and then the rest goes to the channel. And like, this isn't like a moneymaker. We're doing this just so people can have shit from the channel just to, be able to rep DLD, right? Literally in Valley Forge. Look out for detox. Glowy boxers yet? Not yet. I do like that idea though. Oh shit, Valley Forge is like 6 hours from Ohio. Yeah, it's about probably close to. So I'm coming from Long Island, Virginia. I know a lot of y'all know that I live there. Um, so it's about 6 hours for me too. So this is one shirt that we have. It is the PWEDC shirt. If you don't know what PWEDC stands for, then welcome to the channel. It stands for hiding guns in your butthole. PWEDC is prison wallet everyday carry. So we have some of the most hilarious items that we could muster on there, from razor blades to handcuff keys to Swiss Army knives to my actual lighter, like my lighter that I use to light off some items that you guys have seen. And if you're newer to the channel and you have not seen me build stuff that goes boom that I blow up, then go check it out because it's freaking awesome. I'm probably gonna be rocking this hoodie. Damn, I should do that. Yeah, I should rock the Eagle hoodie. I think honestly, what I'm probably gonna do is wear a plate carrier and just put like DLD patches like all over, like every bit of hook and loop, DLD patches like all over. Um, but whatever. Hey, so this is the glowy hoodie. This is the eagle that we love so much, and then it says glowies on the front, and all these are prices with shipping. So I know lots of places charge like crazy amounts. We are not. Even like from this, we net like $11. So it's and I just want to be honest with you guys. Like, so this is the Rhodesian loadout outfit. So this is a Rhodesian 360 printed. So this hoodie, they print the fabric first, and then they cut the hoodie out of it, okay, with Rhodesian camo, and then and I can't believe that this has been the most popular item this month. Rhodesian camo shorts. So you're actually rolling around with like a straight up gangster ass Rhodesian hoodie and shorts. All you need is a plate carrier and an FAL, and you are a roadie. Then, of course, we have the Wanna Bang shirt. Like I said, I like to make things that go bang or boom. So this is a play on like some of the quarter sticks and half sticks that I've made. And then of course my lighter, because the lighter kind of pays homage to Toxic Patch Co. But at the same time, it's my lighter. So it's funny that Sport Brand duplicated that. So wanna bang with the right, you get it. And then the Glowies beanie, which I think that will actually be my next purchase because that I love. Y'all know I'm a beanie dude. I rock my Magpul beanies, but that one is special because it's got the DLDZ. Um, in addition to that, we partnered with BWE Firearms. So all of that can be had at glowies.bigcartel.com. And the store for Richard Hoff, the Hoff, it's all Uzi based. Okay. So BWE Firearms, we wanted to make something that was kind of like a billboard for his shop. So we got his literal one of a kind Katsar Uzi, which is a micro Uzi with a no, I'm sorry, a full size Uzi with a mini Uzi front with a full wood stock with a red dot. And yes, it's a machine gun. And then the Americanized Florida with all of his info on it. We got the Uzi King hat because he is indeed the Uzi King, and it is in denim to pay homage to his denim shop apron that he wears all the time. And Hoff, we love you, brother. Then you got probably the coolest thing on his store, which this is bwefirearms.bigcartel.com. This is, oh, there we go. So this is in the front, you got the Americanized Florida with BWE firearms and blah, blah, blah. Then you got the Katsar Uzi, a micro Uzi, and a mini Uzi, which is dope. And then a lot of you guys may know that when Hoff was diagnosed with colon cancer, he had to have his lower intestines and shit detached so he doesn't poop out of his butt. He poops into a shit pouch that's on his side. So naturally, we had to make a BWE tactical shit pouch, um, also in denim to pay homage to his shop apron that he rocks all the time. which is denim too. So it is a literal tactical shit pouch, which is a fanny pack, which you can rock crossbody or on your waist if you want to. And it comes in two sizes, medium and large Marge. I would go for the large Marge. It's worth it. Um, and that's it. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Um, let me just put the hang on. Ooh, that's it. bwefirearms.bigcartel.com. Should have beef done in dark canvas brown. Oh, damn. That's a good idea. And then glowies.bigcartel.com. And then if you want the PWEDC patches, send $10 PayPal to the darkestmavis@gmail.com. They're still not in. I'm waiting for them from Zach. It's obviously it's not his fault. That's what happens when you get shit made in very far away places. So yeah, if you shoot me, can we talk about how gun slash tactical community hates the tall man? You know, that's actually very true. I've found that on many occasions I've been looking for items that, and I'm not super tall. Like, I know there's some folks out here that are like 7 foot 13. That with a Rhodesian is a sexy range combo. Bro, that shit's almost $100. Okay. And that has been the number one selling item in this store. Like, I'm like blown away. And the people I've talked to that have purchased it are like, "Yeah, it's only $100." And 360-degree printing is super expensive. Like, we were actually at a net negative purchasing the first one because you pay if I told y'all how this worked, you'd be like, "Why are you even doing this, Dark?" But we're doing it to, be able to benchmark, like, cool shit, like cool times, like in the streams, funny things that we like. PWEDC, bro. There will be a day when we forget about PWEDC, where it's not fresh on our mind, okay? And having the patch, having the shirt, having the whatever brings you back to that moment where we talked about hiding guns in your beehole, which is fucking hilarious. Um, Also could be very effective in the future. Um, Basically, the way this shit works, and it is kind of crazy, is you link your store to an account. Okay. Let's say, let's use the Rhodesian camo outfit, which has been what's selling the most, which I really want to buy, but I can only pick a few items to to purchase because there's like a discount where I get like samples, but it's not really that much cheaper. But hey, I'll take it. Free custom, not free custom clothes, but discounted custom clothes for, supporting the channel. Even myself, I've only purchased one shirt, the semi-auto key card shirt, which is actually still available at glowiespx.bigcartel.com, but don't tell anyone. Um, so basically, let's say someone orders that and it's like $90 or $95 or whatever it is. They charge the cost to me directly. So they actually pull like 80 something dollars out of my account and then they hold it until they actually have the money in hand from the consumer. And then once it's delivered and arrived and everything is all good, then they give me the like $95 or whatever it is. So it's like, okay, so you took $84 from me, and then 7 to 10 days later, you gave me, you know, $95. Like, Like, it's not so I just want I'm sharing this with y'all so you guys know and you understand and you know that, like, we're not doing this shit for money. We're doing this shit so we can, like, get shit, like, out there for the channel. Um, same reason we did patches, the same reason we did the, Blue Chem Light patches, which we're running out of. They're almost gone, but you can still get them. Um, which they do glow in the dark, I think I mentioned that. um, the PWEDC patches, the gear. We want to support Hoff, so obviously, like, yeah, all that. You guys, not the best turnaround. Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. It's sadly, this is actually one of the best setups with like drop shipping and shit. Like, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to package anything or like whereas with the PWEDC patches, I'm actually doing it myself. Once I have them in hand, I'll be able to like hold them and show them to you and show them that they're real. I know a good amount of people have already pre-ordered them, and thank you to you guys that pre-ordered them. And as soon as we get them, we'll get them out. So if you've made an order and already sent your $10, I'm sorry, it's just sitting there. Um, and the moment that they get in, you'll get them. If you participated in the pre-order, you'll get likely um, some of the people that participated in the pre-order will likely get something extra added into their little package. Your little package. So, all right. So who's gonna give the words of wisdom tonight? Because I'm talked out. Damn, 6'8", 3T. So three tall shirts. Carhartt offers great shirts, but get boring. So you would need a 3XL, like 3T. What's it called? 3XLT or whatever it is. I'm not sure. I got the BWE Uzi patch. It's dope. Right? I got two of those, man. Those are sick. Those are probably like the sleekest patch that Toxic has made. Very sleek, very simple, very BWE. Practice safe sex. Yeah. And practice makes perfect. Shit, I bought me a set with the tack shit pouch. Range days in the summer and spring will be lit. Fuck yeah. Jake the Great, that is awesome. I love that. Um, those are great words of wisdom. I agree. I will tell you guys that there is also going to be a DLD, like blue chem light, glowy. Ah, fuck it, I'll just say it. It's called the THC. Okay. Oh, thanks, Bob. Look at that. You got the address right there. So you finally have an address of where I am going to be for an entire day. So for all of y'all that have just been waiting for that opportunity, there you go. Oh, Chuck Norris, man. Actually, shout out to Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris was the first one to purchase the Rhodesian camo outfit, and I hope you love it. I could picture you walking around your home wearing that and a plate carrier, and I hope it makes you happy. Um, date you'll be at Ohio 17th. I'll be out there the 18th. Yeah. I wore my Rhodesian camo hoodie to the Riff Raff show. I don't know what the Riff Raff show is, but that is dope. Gotta remember to get on PayPal again just to get the PWEDC patch. Hell yeah. While tripping. Nice. Tripping balls in that DLD. And you can see we didn't brand it or anything. We considered like, all right, we should put like a DLD or Blue Chem Light or something like that, and we didn't. We wanted to go like straight roadie, like you were rocking a plate carrier, walking through, disgusting places with an FAL or an AK. Riff Raff is a legend. Nice. Yeah, so I'll be out there on the 18th at 100 Station Avenue, Oaks, Pennsylvania, 19456. I'm not sure what time I'm gonna get there because I'm traveling from like Southern Virginia, but I'll be there and shit's gonna be lit. Yeah, it's gonna be fun as hell. JSD has a big announcement. It is not a product. It is an announcement, and I'm excited. Uh, Let me see. Okay, hold on. Oh, nice. I got a whole gang of shit. Damn. Man, y'all are awesome, man. See all the people that got so masses, your code was generated if you're here. Um Butane, excited to win and have a new project to work on. Hell yeah. Do, do, do. Oh, Walter, you're great. Being sent with crump stuff. Word. One more thing. Hold on. All right, so the PWEDC patches are going to be being sent to Crumps, just like all of my other packages. I'm kidding. Um, thought you'd be in lockdown by now, Gerchop. I was tiptoeing in my Jordans. Okay, so the wedding ring. Somebody asked, they were like, Dark, you're talking with your hands a lot and you're not wearing your wedding ring. Is everything okay? So I actually typically don't wear my wedding ring. I used to wear my wedding ring only like when I go out the house, and when I get home, it comes off. I just don't wear it. You know, my wife doesn't always wear her ring, but now her ring though, like my ring is like a titanium ring with some gold inlay. Her ring is like, you know, $10,000 stack of rings that I kept adding to and adding to. So I got her the wedding band and engagement ring. Okay, a bunch of carats in that mofo. Then I added an additional white gold band with diamonds, actually much higher quality diamonds. I wish I went to that person in the first place. As a custom ring. I had her take the wedding band and duplicate it, but it just ended up being higher quality, and it was like, fuck, like I wish it wasn't that much nicer and clearly better quality, but that's okay. Then for a push present when my daughter was born, I was like, surprise, I had them use the same mold to make another ring for her that is rose gold so she can stack all four up and it's like blinding when she wears it. And it's rose gold with white diamonds and my daughter's birthstone staggered throughout them. So she gets to rock, you know, white gold and white stones and rose gold with white stones with my daughter's birthstone in there too. So anyway, that's it. If you guys want to support the channel and you want the PWEDC patch, PayPal the $10 to thedarkestmavis.com or at gmail.com. That's thedarkestmavis at gmail.com. Now, let me know. Like, don't put any notes in PayPal. Do it friends and family because otherwise they take money. But um, specify. Like, I had a guy that was just like, no, I just wanted to send you money and I don't want YouTube to get any of it. He's like, I wanted a super chat, but I don't want to pay YouTube, so I just paid you directly. I was like, oh, dope. So I'll probably still send them a patch, but yeah. So that's how you get the patches through Instagram, but you can technically just PayPal it. Then if you still want to support the channel, go to glowies.bigcartel.com, cop some gear. It's very fairly priced with shipping. All those prices included shipping. Um, or bwefirearms.bigcartel.com to support Hoff and our channel as well, because we're kind of sharing um, the income, even though it's not much. Um, but still, full transparency. So I'll always be honest with you guys. I'll always, tell you all the truth. I'm not gonna bullshit you. Rose gold or Ralph C&OD green? Yes. See, See, Luigi is Luigi. Motherfucking knows the deal. Yeah, but dude, I appreciate all y'all coming, chilling, just kind of chatting. This was a little bit more of a chill stream. Talked about some serious shit tonight, but to everybody that won something, all the like electronic or digital shit has been taken care of. To everyone that needs to get something mailed, it'll likely go out within the next 24 hours ish. But I will let y'all know and I'll send tracking info and all that shit. But as I always say, be kind, live a life of care, compassion, and contribution. Give to others. Remember that a hand that's open to give is open to receive. Bless others and you'll be blessed. Also, make sure that you are making a concerted effort to become as skilled in violence as you possibly can be. And be safe and be the most dangerous motherfucker that you possibly can be. If you want to come see me, Putang, John Crump, Flying Rich, Petey Ralph, Shooting Gallery New England, all these awesome people, we will all be in Oaks, Pennsylvania at the address below here on December the 18th. Or if this is your one opportunity that you want to come and just spit in my face, I would love to see you either way. I'm into that kind of shit. So I love y'all. Thank you for kicking it because we kind of were just kicking it. And terrible tragedy about this 14-year-old girl. Terrible. Also terrible about her friend too. But when the parents aren't there, it's easy for 13-year-olds to build guns and sell them on the street. No, no, that doesn't sound right at all. Sounds like something fishy was going on here. We should look into it. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Peace. I know it's really far away, homie, but we'd love to see you. Piedi. That piedi. That piedi.